Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Terminus podcast for the week of July 1st, 2017. This is admittedly 1 week postponed because of scheduling difficulties. And it's funny, the last time we had a nice round number like this, the 060 off was pushed back as well. But, anyways.
We can't do round numbers.
Yeah, I know, whatever, we can't handle it.
Confirm.
Stack Overflow.
Round.
I am your dispatcher, Ellis, otherwise known as Train Man. Thankfully, I made it here today. More on that later. With me, my engineers are Wybold, Jader, and Kevon.
Hi.
Hello.
Replacing Milky.
No, it's Milky. What are you talking about?
Don't we have a penguin usually?
This is Black Milky. And our guest
is that like chocolate milk?
Not
chocolate milk.
Kevin.
Yes.
We've already started.
He's the other part of the penguin.
We love you, Kevin.
Anyways.
And 1 point for Wybold.
And we lose the funding.
Anyways, what funding?
Have we done the point system in a very long time?
Our guest this week is O'Chili's.
Yes. Hey. Storch. Sorry.
Okay, awesome. And before we get to the rest of this mess, because there's been a lot that's happened in our absence, the train will terminate at this station.
Okay, this week we are somewhere in the desert of unspecifiedville. Maybe it's Nevada, maybe it's Utah, maybe it's Colorado. Who knows? Magnum certainly doesn't. Welcome to FCNN, folks.
Home of dragons.
Home of
only when Einz
dragons,
is around.
Einz, and the horrible things that happen with that combination.
And fan fiction.
And fan fiction.
But you know what they don't have? A dispatcher.
Communism.
Pure communism.
And neither did we.
Uh-oh.
You never thought just how well an operating session would run with no dispatcher. Because on the way, so for the record, there's only one person trained to dispatch at the Providence Northern. Probably because he refuses to train anybody else because he doesn't want to be replaceable.
I was gonna say, you'd think they wouldn't, train somebody else to, to take his place if he's not able to be there.
Oh, well, no, he was trying to be there, but his car broke down.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so he got stuck. He couldn't make it. I showed up early-ish. As well as, we probably had 20 people, maybe? 20 people tops operating. It was a good operating session. But we, sort of deliberated for a little while and went, well, I guess we're going to have to start without him.
Hey, Ellis, do you guys use car cards, by the way?
No.
Oh, how do you do sorting? If you do it,
we just do it by car, and then you just switch all the stuff in an industry out because it's only just the one operating session, and then everything returns to willy-nilly, and then next time you do everything again. You just swap. You swap out all the industries once over the course of an operating session. That's all you need to do. You don't. You don't need to keep track of.
You guys don't prep cars, really? You guys don't really prep stuff?
We do. All the trains are staged with the proper consists, but you take them there and the sheet says drop off 5 boxcars, and you drop off 5 boxcars, and the guy switches out those 5 boxcars, and then another train comes along and says pick up 5 boxcars, so you give him the 5 boxcars that got switched out.
So it's not like how we do it when I do operating sessions at private layouts, because I'm doing those more often now.
Mm-hmm.
Because my NMRA divisions, they do sessions at members' layouts, and they're back on after the dude who coordinated them had a heart attack. He's back. He's back online now.
I mean, at least his car didn't break down.
But okay. Anyways, but what we do, just because I went off on this tangent, it's not like what we do where they have everything just going off like a constant loop, and the dude never runs anything except for a session. And then it's trains are pre-assembled. When you get a train, you have a list, a massive list of car cards, and you basically just drop off at the big yards, and drop off at small yards.
And you can easily get away with that in a private layout where nobody fiddles with stuff in the meantime. But at the club, it's like, no way that's ever gonna work. No way in hell. Because everybody comes in, especially, myself and TJ and Madison and whoever else. And we just play with things willy-nilly. We pull cars out of industries, we switch cars into industries, we, shuffle
because
around.
you suck.
We shuffle around yards, not just to screw things up, but just because that's what we're doing. We're just playing with trains. We don't care about
screwing things up.
Yeah, because there's nothing to screw up. When the operating session comes around, you stage all the trains, you run all the things, and that's it. The NAB&W is the only, sort of semi-public layout that I've seen that actually uses car cards, and they replace the car cards every single time.
Yeah, they do that.
Yeah.
I mean, the dude has, a predetermined, list that he can just print on his computer, but they have new ones every single time.
Oh, okay, yeah, see, because some of the other layouts I've operated on that have car cards are it's the same card, and you carry it with you, and you put it in the industry, and then you turn it around for, full or empty. Or flip it over, or something like that. Each car can go to 4 different positions, I think. And
that's how ours is at our club.
Yeah.
We just started operating sessions.
Yeah, and operating sessions are fun.
See,
And, okay,
I don't know
I'll
if my
get
club
into
does
this
realistic
later.
ops, like car cards or anything. I mean, we usually try to do that whenever I'm there, we usually try to do some sort of realistic switching.
I mean, I like to, it's awesome to have people that I can actually go to freaking, the club with and operate with. To have TJ and Madison with me and go to the club, I can be like, alright, I'm gonna be switching this out. I'm gonna need a train with this, this, and this. Madison, can you assemble me a train with this, this, and this? TJ, when I come down,
yep.
I need you to be ready and take this train somewhere, blah, 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 blah. We have mini operating sessions.
That's how, me, Zane, Broll, and Miller do it.
Yeah, and that's awesome. And I wish I had time during the trip to do something like that with you, Webble, but I'm not sure how much time you're going to have here before or after.
Mm.
And either way, you're going to spend some of that with TJ anyways. I'm going to be working.
Right. Good to see you ring about. Think of chow.
Yeah, on the
which actually is that a fairly good
what
segue into what we're going to be doing?
I was going to put that in housekeeping. As much as we could talk about it here, totally. But
I mean, it's not. Housekeeping is typically stuff to do with the show, which I guess, we would then address it later, but
I don't know. I sort of deliberated back and forth. We can come back to it if we have time here. But,
all right, mysterious thing that the audience knows nothing about. We'll be back to that.
Needless to say, we're going on a trip. Anyways.
Yeah. And our favorite rocket ship.
Actually, this is not the, it's funny because this sort of springboards off of, very recently, you met one of our fans, Wybolt.
I did, actually. I met
Scrub.
Graham. I did this in person, too, because I've never had to say his last name out loud. Graham Zelensky.
I always thought it was just Zelensky.
I always go to
Zelensky.
Zelensky. I go to Zelensky or Zelensky because it's German, but I don't know.
I thought it would be
regardless.
The capital of Iceland, like Helsinki.
Helsinki.
Or the capital of. Wait, is the capital of Iceland Helsinki?
No.
That's Helsinki.
I was going to say, isn't the capital of Iceland Reykjavik?
Yeah, that's
it's
Reykjavik. Sorry, wait, what's Helsinki? Finland?
Helsinki is Finland.
Finland!
Yeah.
Anyway, met Graham to ham. He came up to the museum, took a ride on the in the back of the Goose with our horrible PA audio system, which apparently sounds even worse than my microphone on the show. Apparently, I sound really different in person. Apparently, I'm really tall.
I mean,
Graham is actually a lot taller. Yeah, Graham is actually a lot taller than I was expecting. He was very good about being up there for, I was able to walk him through the shop. Originally, I had said, oh yeah, we'll probably have Steam up and all sort of stuff. And then everything swapped around, and the 91 was in pieces, and 346 had operated the week before, and it's like, yeah, we probably won't have Steam.
Aw.
But
And he went
like
and got
I
his
said,
Steam fill from Georgetown.
yeah, well, and I walked him around in the shop, and he was very conscientious about, you know, what he could take pictures of and what he couldn't, and things like that. You know, he was very friendly. I don't know if he had his dad or his grandpa, or he had somebody with him. That it was actually a very short visit because I was working at the time. I was actually having to run the Goose, so he got a cab ride in the Goose. I guess he rode shotgun with me driving.
I saw a picture of this.
But
Yeah,
yes,
so
you did see a picture of this. This is a later trip when he managed to, you know, he sighted me on the back 40.
Oh crap! I closed the dock.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Nice
I want him to come back, and he wants to come back sometime when there is Steam up.
I want to go
So
when there's
I
Steam
want
up
to go
too.
to the call.
Yeah, come see the Steam.
I
I
was
tried
talking
to see
to
Weibold.
I was talking to Achilles about an extension to the 2019 trip that could bring us down there. But
I'm
Yeah,
that'd
actually
be fun.
thinking about proposing to my parents to come down there at some point.
I mean, the 2019 trip. Again, we have to talk about this at greater lengths because there is nothing to do out there except Promontory.
Wow.
I
mean, there's, like-
Achilles put out some cool stuff. Put out some cool stuff. Ideas.
There's
Also, my
There's, like,
freaking
Heber,
voucher
but that's
expired.
hours
I
away.
totally forgot, and my voucher that I was going to use for the plane ticket to Train Mountain expired. It's
Aw.
Keep in
sitting
mind, by
here
the
on my
way-
desk, and I missed it by 4 days.
Oh, your voucher to go back in 2018?
Yeah.
yeah,
Sure.
Oh well.
the one he would use to fly out here.
Yeah. Whatever. I'm not too worried about it. It was not all that much.
I still have to.
Weibold-
I still have to get
I-
tickets.
I tried to meet you at the museum, but you were off that one day.
Yeah,
Just
when you didn't tell me you were up at the museum, otherwise I would have run up and be like, "Oh, hey, come
oh
on."
well, no, I didn't go to the museum because you weren't there. So
Oh, that's
Well,
right. That's right. You went to the gorge. That's right. Now
and then we
now I
stayed
remember.
in Colorado.
I was like, why didn't you say something? I don't remember you going up to the museum.
If you see something, say something. Oh my god, we skipped a section. God, I'm out
Yeah,
of
we did. I was
I'm
gonna
out
say.
of practice.
God.
Alright, I'm gonna
damn
give
it.
myself another.
Oh,
I'm out of practice. I
we have
apologize.
the mantle of responsibility now.
The mantle of responsibility is still with KCS because KCS is somehow flawless.
God.
Yeah.
Somehow immune to
No, Hunter
screwing
Harrison is
up.
God, and don't you forget it. We'll get to that later. But so
Spoilers.
first one is Norfolk Southern managed to derail on June 12th, and it was kind of messy. They tipped some cars
Yeah,
over.
kind of made a
25
mess.
cars in total derailed. I don't know exactly what happened, but if they were on a curve, I'd say they stretched all the slack out, but just a bunch of cars decided we want to go on our sides today. This seems to be a running theme for the record. There are some other trains that have ended up on their sides lately. But yeah, so nothing major, but major enough to make the record. Major enough to make the list here. And that was on June 12th. So I'm going to put that in the cargoes. Sweet cargoes. NS derailment. And then, the day after, CSX did the CSX thing and dumped 9 coal cars. Well, not
Sweet.
dumped per se, but they got them off the track. The train was pulling 104 when 9 derailed, so that's not that bad of odds, percentage-wise. Less than 10% of the cars tipped over, or came off the track. Actually, none of the cars tipped over. They did not spill any coal.
Well, that's good.
That's good.
They must have glued down their loads. Good job, guys.
They have magnetic coal loads.
Exactly.
Small railroad.
And they were waiting for a crane to come put the cars back on the track. Last update in this article. Then on June 20th, BNSF. Well, let's see exactly the details. Here. Oh, hey, Weibold, this was in your neck of the woods. So,
On the note of derailments?
Yeah. The BNSF train derailed in East Boulder on Tuesday afternoon. And they really piled some cars up.
Oops.
Not
In
s-
East Bull. Oh, tell me it wasn't a coal train.
No, it wasn't. It was just a.
Okay.
Looks like a manifest or whatever. Also,
It must have been full of weed and Starbucks coffee grinds. Otherwise, I would have heard all
I
about
was gonna
this.
say-
Protests of we need to close the railroad. It's so dangerous. I can't imagine the kind of storm it would have raised if it was a coal train that derailed in Boulder.
or like an oil train. But
Yeah,
it was soon
or that.
determined that most of the train cars that derailed were empty, save one that contained non-hazardous plastic beads. And officials soon lifted the evacuations.
Plastic
Could I have my
beads?
beads,
Yes.
man.
The
Like
six,
Mardi Gras beads.
no,
Could I have my
just
beads,
regular plastic
dude?
pellets, I would assume.
Yeah.
6 cars
Aw.
came off the tracks, and all but the one containing plastic beads were empty. Police, however, did not initially know what the train cars contained, so they evacuated businesses within 100 yards of the derailment. That's not awfully far. 6 cars that came
No.
off the tracks also buckled into one another, some of them losing wheels and tearing up a section of track. Nice job, guys.
Ouch.
A woman who declined to give her name was seen leaving a business on Penn Place to the northwest of 63rd and Arapahoe, and she said she and coworkers had been standing near the train tracks watching the events unfold. Can't take your eyes off it, huh?
Arapahoe.
It's like watching a train
Arapahoe.
wreck.
That's a good name for a town.
Yeah,
That's a good name for a town.
it's Arapahoe. Oh, they split a switch.
Smooth.
Oh, whoops.
Oh.
Oh my god, the
Fun.
friggin' picture towards the bottom of this article is the gun just like caught and is sideways. It's perpendicular to the track.
Ooh.
And there's a rail box
It's not
that
good.
just like... boink. Also, I can see a spill of plastic beads on the ground underneath the tipped-over hopper car.
Oh boy.
Anyways, next one was Union Pacific in
Oh boy, what did they do?
Tulare County from extreme heat. I like how this is the only one so far where we have an actual cause.
Yeah.
Union Pacific reported 19 cars derailed along Highway 99 between Delano and Earl and Mart. No one was hurt. I mean, no surprise. But it actually, the train tipped
Luckily.
over
Oh,
onto somebody.
sorry.
Aubrey Henry from the California Department of Fish and Wildlife said a refrigerated boxcar leaked about 30 gallons of fuel, but none reached the nearby canal or impacted wildlife. Blah, 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 blah.
Fun.
Heat triggers extra track inspections throughout the area and slower maximum speeds for freight trains. But they still managed to crash. Good job, UP. And finally,
Good job, UP.
recently, and this is a real mess, Plainfield, Illinois. Emergency crews are on scene of a freight train derailment in far southwest suburban Plainfield. Happened around 7:30 p.m. near Route 49 at Riverwalk Court. No injuries reported. Police said about 40,000 gallons of crude oil have leaked from 3 cars.
Wow.
Firefighters have barricaded off the leak and prevented it from reaching the DuPage River. Blah, blah, blah. This was Canadian National. Good job, Canadian National. You crashed an oil train.
Glad there wasn't
Businesses
no, like,
within a
fire
1,000-foot radius
explosion.
of the spill were evacuated. I mean, that's more like it. 100 yards is not all that much. Plainfield police have been asked to stay away from the area. Police say they believe it will be a significant amount of time before the train is removed from the tracks. Where's the picture of this? It looks pretty messy. There's a video here, but I'm not going to try and play the video.
I can pull up a picture now. Here you go.
Oop, oops. What'd you see?
Oh, never mind. Picture did not. Oh.
Alright,
Okay,
well, those
there we
are
go.
all the derailments this week. We'll head back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Would we
Well,
consider
going right
Amtrak
back into the
Class
noti-
1?
What?
Could Amtrak be considered for the Class 1?
No, because they're government subsidy.
I mean, but they still make...
Government.
Hey
Anyway,
guys, I just realized this
Continuing the
episode.
trend
080.
of heat-related derailments.
Oh, yeah,
or
here we
so
go.
they say.
Here's the mess.
Yeah. Warm
Good
weather, or so they say. The curse of the Terminus. 2 derailments on the same day for the Durango and Silverton.
Jeez.
These are rough. Luckily, no one was hurt. You know, play the Thomas and Friends.
Luckily, no one was hurt.
Luckily, no one was hurt. No one was hurt. There weren't any severe delays, I don't believe. One of them was a special event train earlier in the day, likely caused by a heat kink, from what I've heard.
Too hot.
And that was just quick on the ground. They repaired that and were able to get it back into the station. The more severe of the two derailments happened later in the day. It was the first train returning from Silverton, literally about 5 blocks from the station. Like they were almost back. They were almost there. They were 2 minutes out of the station in Durango, and they hit a spot in the track. They hit, what is presumably a heat kink in the track, and the engine made it over it. The first car made it over it, and then it was between the second and the third coach that they popped off. The rear platform of the second coach it wasn't torn off, but it was turned to be parallel with the door or very near it.
Not supposed to do
the
that.
platform. Yeah, the platform itself turned like close to 90 degrees, and then the forward truck of the third coach completely disintegrated, like down to the point where they shattered the castings for the journal boxes.
Oh god!
Man.
Oh my god!
Like the truck did not come to pieces; the truck disintegrated. And that, obviously the train grinds to a halt. A lot of passengers, for some reason complained, and they wanted a bus to take them back to the station. So
5 blocks away.
5 blocks.
Yeah, so 5 minutes later, a bus arrived to take them back to the station.
God damn.
The rest of the passengers just walked back, and then buses were dispatched up to, I believe, Rockwood and then Silverton to take back the passengers for the other trains.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I mean, that was quick work, though, to get the buses out there.
It was quick work, and they handled the passengers very well, and again, nobody was hurt, so it was very good. They were, however, correcting and cleaning up the accident until very, very late in the night. Now, the inside angle for this, and this is one that I'm just gonna put out there because at this point it's kind of public. Yeah, this isn't a very opinionated thing. This is something that, again, has kind of just become public knowledge. The reason for the heat kink, Durango and Silverton's trackage sucks.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying, somebody sabotaged the track.
No.
I thought that's what this was about to be.
No, the reason that they've been having all these troubles is anyone who's ridden the DNS recently can tell you their trackage is horrible.
How about riding the DNS several years ago? It was horrible then too.
Yeah, it's been horrible for quite a while now.
It's always been horrible.
Well, it's not always been horrible. Back in the Bradshaw days, it was actually fairly good. This is on par, if not worse, than the Rio Grande days, though.
Oh, so that's really bad.
It's
not
it's
really
terrible.
bad, but
yes, really bad.
When we were done moving the 93, and we took just an excursion ride for the sake of riding the railroad. I think the day before or 2 days before, I can't remember. 2 of our older volunteers, and they were there for the documentation of the trip, came back and they got off the train at the end of the day and they were bruised because they had been banged against the walls of the coaches so much.
Ow.
Jeez.
It's a horrible, horrible ride on lousy trackage. And that's largely due to the fact that they ballast it with river rock. And anybody that doesn't know track work, ballast has to be... It has to be big rock. It has to be very sharp, jagged, ugly, horrible rock that you don't want to work with, because it locks together and holds the track in place. Mm-hmm. Smooth, small rock that's easy for the track work to work with, it doesn't do anything. The track just wanders all over the place.
It doesn't hold.
Why would you even?
And that's why
it doesn't hold together itself. It's the same way it's the same reason you use big jagged boulders for breakwaters at sea. You don't use these rounded stones.
Why would you even consider using river? See, why would they even consider using river?
Yeah, and the other one is for the track crews. And the reason this is the slightly political side of things, the track crews keep insisting that they need to use the smaller stuff because it's easier to work with. It's the same sort of thing that's going on at the museum right now. Track crews always whine about using proper ballast because it's tough to work with good reason. It's this large, heavy, horrible, jagged rock that you have to have 2 feet of it.
Yeah,
and it's much easier to just use this little kitty litter rock. Yeah.
Kitty litter.
Well, and that's the decision that
the way I see it, would you rather have to do your job once and you do it right, or you have to go back and repair it twice a week?
Well,
or just complain about it.
That's the decision that the DNS they're going to have to make here because this is bad.
Huh?
This isn't gonna bankrupt the road. Oh, it's the end of the DNS. But this has certainly drawn attention to an issue that it's been going on sort of behind the scenes for a while now. And if you really stop and consider, it's like, wow, yeah, that was a pretty rough ride. This is kind of gonna be a turning point.
Yeah, even when I rode the DNS, which was years ago, it rocks worse than a sailboat. It was like,
yeah, well,
what's
and I mean,
going
part of that you
on?
have to remember is narrow gauge.
I mean,
because
yes.
narrow gauge. But yeah, their track is horrible. What narrow gauge should feel like is the Cupras and Toltec. And there's that little pitch and roll in motion, but that's just railroading. It's not supposed to be you get off the train at the end of the day and you're bruised.
Or seasick.
Yeah, or seasick.
Bruised
or both.
and seasick.
And both.
Anyways, speaking of
that ought to be the title of the episode: "Bruised and Seasick and Seasick and Bruised."
Yeah, we call it "Bruised and Seasick."
Bruised and seasick.
Speaking of oceanside, or just seasick in general, I am sick of Olive. No, I'm not really, but I'm getting towards. I've sort of worked towards the water, and I'm almost there. Most of the blocks that I have to build of the town still are oceanside blocks, which are primarily just going to be dunes and sand and grass. And nothing, not a bajillion houses with unique backyards and fences and trees and cars in the driveway and whatever. I'm almost done with Olive. I'm so close. And then I can move on to other things. Although I had a priceless moment with TJ. I'm pretty sure it was with TJ. He was like, it was talking about how big Olive is and, doing certain things with Olive because it was a big town. And I was like, well, and then I'll make it to Gilson City and, then I really get into the city building stuff. He's like, wait, there's going to be a bigger city than Olive on the route? And I go, TJ, Olive is a small town. And he's like, oh.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, no, think about the population of this place. It's not that high. Even if it's a scaled down version of what a town would otherwise be, it's big, but it's not real scale by any stretch.
No.
Oh boy. So yeah, I'm looking forward to building Gilson City. It's probably going to be where I spend years of my life. But
well,
it'll be worth it.
Just do the track work, get everything operational, and then move on.
It'll be a Gilson sight to behold.
That was stretching. That was stretching. That isn't even worth a boo. Like, come on.
I thought that was actually pretty good. I've had ones before where it's like, wow, that was stretching good. That one I thought was fairly good.
You've done better. Anyways.
Well, yeah.
I'm looking forward to doing all the intricacies in that city because I intend to do, like, tram lines and stuff like that. I am honestly kind of excited to get there, but I'm going to stave that off for a while.
I'm going to avoid it.
I'm going to avoid it.
I wish I did that with Yankton.
Yeah, I was going to say, I specifically did not
I don't know
start
why.
there.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't start in Yankton.
Yes.
I started in one of the towns to the west, and then I just worked my way there, and I'm just like, oh.
And then got stuck there.
Oh.
Forever.
Yep. I'm nearing completion, though. I mean, there's still, I think, 10 blocks or something of neighborhood to do.
Yeah. See, the thing is, I only work on my route 2 hours a week, so...
That's true. I mean, I spent, all of today, and pretty much until I went to work working on it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of almost being...
Speaking of almost what?
Speaking of almost being done things. The High Valley Line reskinning project is nearing completion. I'm not reskinning too much. I have it almost done. And the High Valley Line itself is nowhere near completion, not even maybe 0.5%.
It's never going to be done.
Right. And I'm just gonna go ahead and finish what I had. Do the big stuff. So the big
Finish
stuff
what
I have.
you start.
Yeah. I have 2 scale trans NSSD 40-2 and the Admiral CAD ones on coming in ship. They're probably gonna ship on the 5th. And I also have a scale trains Tier 4 Gevo pre-ordered. That's due by August.
DCC and sound or operator?
Yeah, DCC sound.
Room camera.
I also barely today, got permission from my mother to make a very, very small 90 by 16 inch switching layout on a shelf in my garage. So
Nice.
I've already come up with a couple
Excellent.
base track plans for it. Actually, let me go ahead and send the version 2 if you guys want to see. I made a version 2 earlier.
Nice.
Oh,
what did I... damn it.
Perhaps the... so I also... there's an Evanston round. There's the next train show I'm going to... by the way, if any of you foamers want to meet me, or any of the non-existent viewers want to meet me, I'm going to the Evanston Roundhouse Festival in the old UP Roundhouse that's been restored in Evanston, Wyoming. Fun. And then there's the NMRA, my division's putting on the normal show in November. And speaking of my division, there's 2 things related to my division of the NMRA. One, we got our division operating group sessions back up after Jack Chase, the man who puts them together, had a heart attack. I mentioned that earlier. He had a heart attack and wasn't able. We didn't have any for a few months. But they're back on now, and I wasn't able to attend the last one because I had work. But from what I understand, it went really well. And perhaps the biggest thing relating to my division of the NMRA, at the last meeting, I didn't tell any of you guys this because I just sort of forgot. At the last meeting on July 17th, I volunteered for the 2019 National NMRA show in Salt Lake City to be a worker there. So,
Did you steal my watch?
What?
July 17th is 2 weeks from now.
Or June 17th. June 17th.
Okay.
Sorry.
Wait a minute.
On June 17th, I volunteered to help at the National NMRA show in Salt Lake City in 2019. So I will be on the committee helping plan.
That is a long time from now.
Yeah, but they really need help. And then I also, like I say, I volunteered, I think, to help in November at their regional show. So I'll be helping out with that pretty quick. And then one of the big things I did in the real world was on June 16th, I got back from my massive rail fanning trip down to SoCal.
Oh my god.
You should have went and visited TBA. I'm disappointed in you.
Yeah.
Always take the
I'm
opportunity
sorry.
to see people.
Not train.
On a side
I'm never going to live that down. I understand. But
on a side note, Mason's coming to see me.
I left on June 12th, and I went when I got into Barstow, it was already like 7 o'clock Pacific, so we were like, we're just going to eat dinner. It was actually 4 o'clock Pacific, and we were like, we're just not going to do anything. We're not going to go very far today. So we ate dinner, got checked into the hotel, and then we went out to Daggett on BNSF Needles, Daggett/Irmo. There was both UP and BNSF there. That was fun. Saw a couple stacked trains flying by at a full 70 miles per hour. That was fun. Day 2, we went to the infamous Tehachapi Loop. We stayed there for about 2 hours, and then we were just like, we were just kind of like, there's not really any, because in Tehachapi everything's private property, and there's no real good areas to rail fan anymore. So we just kind of left, like, hey, we've seen the loop, we can go now. So we went to the town of Tehachapi.
Check that off the
lunch.
bucket list. Let's go.
Sorry if you guys can hear that. My mom's watching a show about stuff, and they're giving birth.
Oh dear.
But
Give birth.
so we just kind of went back to the town of Tehachapi, and we were like, all right, that's fun. We saw, I believe, one BNSF train there. And then we were like, and then some track crews came by. We were like, we're not going to see anything else for a little while. So we left and we went over to the town of Victorville, California, which is not very far from Barstow. And we went over to Victorville and we stayed there. We kind of watched a few trains go by in Victorville. And then my dad was like, I want to go back to the hotel. I haven't been there all day. And I was like, yeah, me too. So we went back to the hotel. We relaxed for a little while. And then I noticed the Amtrak train, the Southwest Chief, which stops in Barstow, was running on time for once. And so we figured, why not? We'll just go see the Amtrak come in. By the way, it comes in at like, I believe, almost exactly at 10 o'clock. But Barstow's not exactly the kind of town you want to be in the middle of the night, because it's it's a small desert town.
You got scared of North Boston in the middle of the day, a block away from the Charleston
You got
Navy.
scared of Klamath Falls at 6 in the evening.
Oh, we're gonna get rich.
And then I introduced you to chicken parmesan, and it made the whole thing better.
Yeah, it did. But so we saw the chief came in, and it had a couple private cars. That was fun. We talked to the people who own the private cars. They were pretty cool. We met a dude from SoCal. His name was, I don't want to say his name actually. But we met a dude from SoCal. He was there. He was pretty cool.
The unnamed man from SoCal.
His name was John.
I met so the next day, we went back to the hotel, kind of watched TV, chilled out by the pool for a few minutes, and then we came back in, went to bed. So the next day we went out to Cajon Pass, because God forbid, and we went over to Cajon Pass, which is a lot different than what you expect, because you expect it to be a pass on both sides. But in reality, when you're driving through Victorville, it's right after Victorville, and when you're driving through Victorville, you don't even notice it until you're at the summit, and then you're really going to start going downhill. Like it's not so much an uphill grade going west, it's just a up a little bit and then down.
Okay.
Fun fact of the day. But
today I learned.
So we went over to Victorville, and then I was like, we went over to Cajon Pass, and I was like, well, there's no real great spots to railfan, and then I was just looking on Google Maps, seeing if I could find any, and I was like, oh, cool, here's a pretty good spot. It's on the right side of the light and everything for my, God forbid, I don't have my camera. So we went over to this railroad crossing, but my dad accidentally drove past it, so we had to drive down into a parking lot. And we turned around, and there's this foamer sitting there, and I'm like, oh, cool, there's another foamer here. But I don't really want to talk to him because I'm a terrible antisocial. So we turned around, and we drove back to the crossing, and after a few trains went by, we were like, actually, you know what, let's go talk to that foamer. So we turned around, and we went over and talked to the dude, and it turns out he was from Denmark, visiting, and he was like, I've never been here
before. Did he have Legos with him?
No. He's like, well, actually, I was here in 2011, and I'm here again. Well, my wife and I are in LA, blah, blah, blah. So he was pretty cool.
Something Denmark.
We talked to him for about an hour, and then we were like, well, we're both really hungry. We're going to head over, because there's like a lot more than you think in Cajon Pass. There's like 3 rest stops. Each of them has like their own fast food place. So we went over to one of the restaurants, and we just they had a Del Taco there. We got Del Taco and ate lunch.
What is
and then
Del
I was like, well,
it's
a
taco.
Yeah, it's a Mexican place. And then we were like, it's only like 1 in the afternoon. Let's head to the...
Or is it like Chipotle?
We were like, well, it's only 1 o'clock in the after. It's only like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Why don't we head into the LA Basin for a little while? So we drove into the LA Basin.
I wanted an answer.
We drove into it's just a Mexican place.
Oh no, is it like Taco Bell?
It's like Taco Bell, yeah. We went into the LA Basin. We went into the LA Basin. We went over to San Bernardino, saw an X-Go unit on Metrolink. That was cool. On the Metrolink SBD line.
It's not like Taco
Go
Bell.
as an F59PH?
Yes.
PH.
What do you mean? I see those things every day, and it's awesome.
And we were like, oh, that's neat. I had actually heard about that previously, but I was like, that's neat. And so they kind of got mad at us for having cameras in San Bernardino. We were like, all right, we'll leave, whatever. So we left San Bernardino, and I was like, well, there's a really big bridge that drives over West Colton Yard, and it's still like 3:30 in the afternoon. Let's go over there. So we drove over West Colton Yard. That was really, really cool. We just sort of stayed there. And we were like, what's up? And then it was really hot. It was like 101 degrees, and I was like, I'm not staying out in this. Ironically, I ended up staying out in this. But,
nice.
So after we left West Colton, we were like, well, what do we want to do? So, I believe we went back to Cajon Pass, and then we went back up Cajon Pass, and then we were like, okay, well, we're going to go see the Chief again tonight. And my dad was like, here, why don't we just chill? And my dad was actually like, well, I really just want to chill, because we're going to have a 3-hour drive tomorrow. Netflix. So we went back to the hotel, and we ended up getting off. We ended up just like, well, let's just go to Victorville again, blah, blah, blah. So we got off in Victorville. In Victorville. Yeah, in Victorville.
Victor?
And we got off in Victorville, and we ended up chasing a BNSF intermodal back to Barstow on historic Route 66 on the original. And
the OG.
Spoiler alert, the speed limit on 66. Route 66 after you leave Victorville is 70 miles an hour, and that train still beat us to Barstow.
Then you clearly were not going fast enough.
No,
I would have beat the train to Barstow.
But I got a really good picture of it, actually, on an embankment beforehand. So we went back to Barstow that night, and we chilled in the hotel for a little while, and we were like, well, so the Chief is on time again, let's just go out. Or actually, no, we got back to Barstow that day. I remember what we did now. And we sat in the hotel, and then I got word from one of my Utah friends who can just see this stuff and has access, that a couple Metrolink F-125s, which are the new crappy EMD Tier 4s for Metrolink, were coming in on
those ugly things.
Yeah, we're coming in on a manifest out of New Mexico. So we were like, well, we'll just go see that pull into the yard. So we went over to see that come into the yard. And there's a bridge that goes over the yard lead. So I was just sitting on that bridge, and my dad was down in the Amtrak station parking lot. And this dude in the white truck pulls up, he just starts in a white truck, and he just starts taking pictures of the train. And we were like, oh, cool, it's another rail fin. So after the train comes in, I walk down the bridge, and then my dad was talking to him.
You find out he was actually a terrorist.
We met up with him.
He was the one person that all the railroad companies are afraid of. That, the one picture taker that's given us all a bad name.
Yeah. No, but we met up with him. He was pretty cool. And then we came in, we saw the Chief that night, again, this time with just nothing special. Just saw the Chief come in and out. And then the next day, we just went back to the hotel room after that. And then the next day, we went to Carlsbad Village Amtrak station, which is like 2.5 hours, 3 hours from Barstow. And that's on the Pacific Surf Line right by the ocean. And the only reason we actually went there was because yours truly wanted to see trains going 90 miles an hour. That was fun. I saw the veterans on CPU, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So that was basically the trip. And, yeah. So, fun.
Ooh.
Spent 10 minutes talking about my stuff.
I get a miniature rail fan experience every morning and every evening now.
You get to see everything.
And I have one more thing. Speaking of
your
rail
states
fanning.
actually give a shit about commuter trains.
Next month on August 12th and maybe 11th, the group I'm in, Utah Rail Fan Events, is hosting a rail fanning Echo. It's called Echo Fest, which, by the way, is one of the locations we could be going to on the Utah trip. Is Echo. It's called Echo Fest, and it's where a bunch of foamers get together and they foam together. But the reason I said August 11th to 12th is there's a small-scale, not announced camping thingy event that I've been invited to. So I'm going on the 11th as well, and we're all going to camp by the railroad tracks because we're all foamers, and it's going to be fun. So
we're all UP foamers, yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, Milky would have been satisfied because an SP let out yesterday out of Ogden.
Oh my god, I'm so happy!
I gotta say, Frankie,
I'm right here.
I won't even say feel because you blink and you'll miss it. But, commuter rail is going 80 miles an hour up the Northeast Corridor. A cell is coming down the Northeast Corridor the other direction about 125 or more. And you just hear this boom, and the entire train rocks.
I've experienced this.
Yeah.
And it scared the crap out of me.
You had PTSD
I
from
heard
that.
It scared the living crap out of the people sitting across from me on the way home today. It was hilarious. Every time, I'm like, there's the Acela. Or when I'm just sitting in... The things that really surprise me these days are when I'm sitting in Back Bay Station, and one of the southern end of Back Bay Station does this sharp curve in a tunnel and disappears. So I'm sitting there and waiting for the train, and you don't even hear anything, and you turn, and the Acela is pulling up. Because it's electric. They might ring the bell, but generally they just sort of cruise around the corner very quietly. And it's like, here comes the Acela. Or
there it is.
Yeah, or the few days
Cholo.
that I've gone down, and you open the door, like you go down the escalator from Back Bay. First of all, this is so quintessentially Boston, I don't know how else to describe it. Back Bay is not a very large station. It hosts a lot of people, but the concourse is not very large. There are 2 Dunkin' Donuts in the station. One across the concourse from the other.
Wait, are they in view of each other?
Yes.
Oh my god.
They're on opposite sides of the concourse.
Good.
They're less than 100 yards apart.
People wanna.
But you go down the escalator,
you're in Boston.
you open the door onto the platform, and you just get hit with this like burned oil smell, and it's like whatever just came through here before I was down here needs some maintenance. You just see you realize you look down and there's like this haze between you and the outside. It's like, the entire place is full of smoke.
We get it, you vape.
It's awful. But, then my train will pull up. And today it was an F40, and I was pretty happy with that.
MBTU?
Oh,
No. The MBTA.
No, they use actual F40s there.
F40PH-2C, I think. And as well...
Oh, it's the weird commuter version, but at least it's not MP36s.
Yeah. Well, as well. I don't think I got to
E.
talk about this on the podcast. Did I talk about my down Easter trip on the podcast?
I don't think so.
No, I don't believe so.
Because I actually got to experience a NPCU. They put my bike in it. They had a bike rack built into the NPCU, which was
cool.
kind of amusing. I bought a special ticket for the bike. It was an extra $5. And I was like, alright, sweet, put this on the train. I biked through North Station, which was a little bit weird. I was like, is somebody going to stop me from doing this? I just very slowly went through the station onto the platform, and I stopped. And I waited until somebody came over and opened the garage door on the side of the F40 shell. And they put my bike in there and locked it up. And the Down Easter, it was $25 last minute, and it was totally worth it. It's such a nice trip. Go up to Portland, Maine, see the 2-foot gaugers, head back down. You can make a day trip out of it. But be careful, because they might try to get you to join the mob. And I'm not disclosing who they is. Don't want to get anybody in trouble, I guess. But I can tell you guys this story later if you haven't heard it yet. I've been trying to tell people because it's just so out of left field.
I've heard this story.
Yeah, good.
Funny.
But I turned down my opportunity to join the mafia.
I'm sorry?
Yeah. Yeah.
You should have joined the mob.
But you're Italian.
I know. That's why they asked me.
Well, Leibold, stop doing your racism.
No. That's why they asked me.
That's. Do you know how the mafia works, Gene?
Yes, kind of.
You're like, oh, mamma mia, pizza pie, sausage and meatball, and they're like,
you
hey,
take the dead guy
you
and put him in the
pizza?
trunk.
We're gonna
dead
strap
guy.
cinder blocks to some people's feet and use the quickcrete on the shoes, and then we're gonna need a cannoli and maybe hold up a bank, stick 'em up a pal.
They asleep
We
with
did
their
everything.
fishes.
We ran a pool hall
To
stand.
be
We
asleep
stole a
with
boat.
the fishes.
I'm learning the
Tony.
language my way, not with flashcards and textbooks, but by joining the mafia.
What happened to this NPC?
I'm the machine.
All right. Anyways, anybody got anything else real?
Oh yeah, I have a few.
I have
Jader,
things.
you can go.
Okay, so family vacation to Myrtle Beach. I got to choose two, things that, more or less two me days.
Foam.
We took a day trip to Wilmington. Went to the Wilmington Rare Museum,
Okay.
and I fell in love with it and the Atlantic coastline.
It's called what again?
Start. The Wilmington Rare
No,
Museum.
the
I have
Atlantic
pictures
coastline
of
was the nickname for it.
It's just the Wilmington Rare Museum.
No, the Atlantic coastline. You said it earlier.
Oh yeah, that's a Terminus question though. I don't want to give away the answer.
All right, fine.
Oh god dang it, Jader. Could have gave hints.
I mean,
No.
First of all, nobody watches the show. Second of all,
No.
nobody's gonna remember it anyways. Although it is your turn next time.
Okay.
Oh
Anyways,
no.
Also, that's as a side note, that's probably going to be in 3 weeks because if it was in 2 weeks, it would fall in the middle of the Pennsylvania special, which is what we're going to get to later. Anyways, carry on.
Right. So we. My phone's not working. Okay. Right. So we went up there. They have a little 10-wheeler, a boxcar, and a caboose out front, and they, of all things, you think they would put this inside, but no, they have a big lathe outside on display. Yeah. I didn't even notice it when we first got there. We're about to leave, and I'm just like, wait, is that why is a lathe outside? What the hell? Okay.
Is it too big to go inside?
Yeah, I mean, the place is in a former freight house, but I guess there's no room for it. Why can I not put... Okay. I won't bother putting pictures then.
Okay.
But yeah, great museum. They had their little 10-wheeler 250 covered in American flags and everything. Little flags
America.
and streamers up on the handrails.
Sweet.
Yeah. They had the cab open.
And you went in the cab, I would assume?
Yeah, I did.
Did they weld all the controls, or are they free?
I mean, you can move them.
Oh, okay. I know many railroads where rare museums where it's like, yeah, we're just gonna weld all these controls so you can't play with them. It's like,
I mean, the only one I could move easily was a little bit of the throttle and the brake.
Mm-hmm.
But
the thing is, a lot of the time, take a break, kid. A lot of the time, museums won't weld them, but they'll be just so stiff and rusted and full of garbage that they won't move. They'll be seized.
Yeah, that's true, especially with the Johnson bar, I would assume.
Yeah, well, the Johnson bar, especially on the larger end, it's a heavy enough linkage to move when the thing has been operating and oiled and is hot.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's static. It's really hard. The other one is the throttle will often seize up like that because the packing gets tight.
Yeah. But it's like gotten into so many cabs, and obviously I know I'm not going to be able to move the throttle or anything. But, you can't even pull the, release for the Johnson bar, or, you can't move the brakes because they welded them. It's like, god damn it, guys.
That's annoying.
I can't pretend I'm driving an engine.
I can't screw with the brake stand. Which, yeah, that's... I swear, this is the DNS of diesels. It sounds like they're just sitting there screwing with the brake stand.
Idiots, stop playing with your brake stand. You'll go blind.
Oh,
I've got into the habit of doing that with Pee-wee because Pee-wee doesn't have air brakes. It just has it doesn't have air brakes, but it has air brakes. It has air brakes for cars behind it if you plumb the hose into it, which we never do because there's literally no point to it. So you can just you pull the brake valve, and the chamber charges up, and you release it, it just goes. That's all it does. It doesn't do anything else. But
just makes noise.
It's just kind of fun. Yeah, it just makes noise, and it's something I've gotten in the habit of just screwing with.
All right. 5 more minutes in this section. Let's go.
All right.
okay.
Yeah, great museum. If any of you go to Wilmington, check it out. Well worth it.
All right, I'll mark that down over here. Actually.
Yeah, I put a link to it. Same with the Grand Strand Model Railroad Club. Check that out too. That's in Myrtle Beach.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Have you bought any more Q2s, Kevon?
No, I have not bought any more Q2s. One sold for $1,700. One just sold for
Congratulations on 5 minutes
$710.
free, Kevon.
He's gonna get his 30-day chip soon. Don't downplay it.
Okay. So I've bin rail fanning with my friend recently, and what was it? Got to go see Grapevine, TRE. We got to see some RDCs before they leave for Vermont. Talk about that later.
Oh, they're going to Vermont. Ooh.
Thermal.
I did get a Chessie T1. It is amazing. I posted a video. That's up there below the Pennsylvania caboose. It pulls like a truck, and I love it. Except the default whistle is god awful.
I mean, can you change it?
Yeah. Well, it has a secondary whistle. I use that, but it's hard to work with.
So yeah, I found one of those on eBay. Is it worth it?
I say they're worth it. It doesn't have smoke. A guy at the club would say it's not worth it since it doesn't have smoke. It's kind of hilarious.
I might have to get that.
I hate model smoke.
I'm not allowed to use it at both of my clubs, so I didn't even bother.
Oh.
See, you're not allowed to use it at my club. Let's see. Tender Kid, he has a Hudson that smokes like hell. Cubed, he has his Yellowstone that smokes like hell. They'll park in the tunnel and just try to fill the entire thing.
Oh my
with smoke.
god!
Yeah, I swear every time we're there,
God
I'll just be over switching, and he's like, "Hey, Durbin, come here. What are you idiots doing?"
I feel like that's slowly creating a small fire hazard.
That definitely is creating a fire.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, but nobody says anything.
Oh my god!
Like nobody really
Speaking
cares.
of small fire hazard, Dean just set his toilet on fire. Oh, never mind, it's fixed.
How on earth do you even?
How do you do that?
It was in Gary's mod. He just went over to it and lit it on fire.
I was gonna say when you're a smoker and you just had Taco Bell.
Ooh, I did go by the GE plant, which was nice. That was my first time being out there. I saw all the Tier 4 GVOs.
Oh my god.
And they're working on rebuilding a few BNSF locomotives. Sadly, some of the the Santa Fe paint schemes are going to be gone soon.
Womp, womp, womp.
As soon as they get rebuilt, they're going to be Heritage 1. I've been slowly working on my model railroading. I've got my Amtrak units working on Lakeshore Limited, and
You need those 2 baggage cars.
I have 2 of them.
Oh, good.
I'm also working on Texas Eagle. I finally got DCC and sound in my veterans unit.
Hey.
I need to redo lights because bathroom bulbs are garbage. I will say that now. They're complete garbage. I opened the locomotive
LEDs.
2 days. 2 days into running it, 2 lights went out. It's just like, what?
Use LEDs.
See, you have to get a new board. I think after their new models are getting LEDs. I know that much.
Finally.
What else happened? Oh, so I'm going to call this the Curse of 406.
Oh, no.
So it's the Amtrak F40. It's not really, it's an imp CPU, but not really. I mean, I guess I'd say it's an CPU, but it's their heritage unit.
NPCU.
So I've gotten to see it twice in the past 2 weeks. One of it coming on the Texas Eagle to replace 9222 on Heartland Flyer.
Huh.
So I was going to chase the train, Well, it turns out that Google Maps is awful in Dallas. Like, it doesn't know any of the freeway. So I leave. Oh, the train is 2 hours late. I'll be fine. So I leave the train club about 40 minutes. It gives me 20 extra minutes to set up my camera and get ready to take pictures. Google Maps takes me on a 30-minute detour trying to exit.
Jeez.
I could not find an exit. So I finally get to the station. Google Maps also parks me in the wrong parking lot. And I meet a few friends there to take pictures as 406 is getting ready to leave for Fort Worth. I walk back to my car. My car got booted.
Oh yeah, I remember what you were saying about this.
I didn't, because I normally park in free parking, but I was so late and so confused that I parked in the parking, and I got the boot like 3 minutes after I parked. It was just like he's waiting there for me.
He was sitting at the entrance like, there's one.
I was just like,
there's a dumbass.
oh, this is not fair. So I paid that. Well, it turns out, so me and my friend go out, what was it, Friday, I believe? Yeah, we went out Friday, go catch 406 and a bunch of other stuff on the line. We get 406. About an hour later, something's wrong with my car. I get a battery light indicator on.
Oh no.
Ooh.
So
Oh yeah.
That happened to me a few weeks ago.
it's not at the best. I just need a new car at this point. So I
old is
drive
your
down.
How old is your car?
Did the alternator die?
I think the alternator died because we got to not Walmart. We got to AutoZone, and I'm pulling in the AutoZone. The battery dies, so I have no power steering. So I'm like turning as hard as I can to get into the parking lot so they can check what's going on. And it's like, we think your alternator's dead.
Oh yeah, but
Like-
you still had spark at that point. It was still running.
Yeah, because it was running off the battery. Battery's fully charged, but it
Jeez.
drained the battery to zero.
Okay.
So when the alternator's not
Yeah,
running,
that happened to me a few weeks
Yep.
ago.
I ended up when my alternator was dying. It was like, all right, first goes the radio, then the lights, then all the gauges, then
I turned off. Yeah.
and then
Jeez.
then my spark started going. So I was running like
Oh, that's not good.
See, Kevon, at least you were in a parking lot. I mean, I was in a parking lot too, but
I wasn't
like,
in a parking lot when the light was going off. I was about 3 miles from the nearest AutoZone.
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
So I had to rush there. Like, we're sitting at the light, and I could just see the car.
Were you like in really bad traffic?
No, but I was in Fort Worth, which is like over an hour from Dallas.
Okay, I was gonna say I was in bad traffic. That's why my truck died. Like I was on my way to work, and as soon as I not pulled into the parking lot, but went to go pull into a parking spot, it just, battery light came on, battery dropped to zero, steering locked up, and it died. And I ended up taking up 4 parking spaces for like a half hour or so.
Oh wow.
Mm.
Well, that's what else happened. Got to
Car
AutoZone. We got to AutoZone. Sit there. My friend's dad comes pick him up because I'm just like, I don't know how long I'll be. What is it called? I'll be trying to get my car back on the road, stuff like that. So we wait. My friend also, every few minutes we hear a BNSF train on the far line go by. I called in AAA. They came with the tow truck, but before they came with the tow truck, there's a line that went behind AutoZone. My friend was waiting for a train to come by, and that was the first CP locomotive I've ever seen.
Huh.
That just showed up. It was just like,
Sweet.
oh, well, my car's dead, but I got to see a CP locomotive. This was definitely not worth
My
it.
whole man.
Yeah, I'm calling for Curse of 406. 406 does not want me near it. It wants to kill my car.
All right. Well,
You're
anyways,
next.
that's it for that section. Unfortunately, if anybody had anything else, oh well.
Scale Trains SD40. I love it. I want more.
All right. Good. Anyways, it's
Shameless
time
plug
to
for Scale
move on.
Trains.
Hey guys, it's that part.
Oh, it's this
It's
part.
the part?
It's the
What
part.
part do you mean exactly?
The
The
party
part that
part.
Dean can't do.
Oh, the part where I say
Yeah, that one.
that part.
What happened
Okay.
with my table? Why did I have a second line on the table? Why
I
is
don't know.
the
Why do you have any lines on the table? What have you been snorting?
well, you don't want to know. I got it from the mob. Anyways, in
Right.
one
What's the sauce?
corner, we have the venerable DT&I Mikados.
Hey, we did last time we did TT9. It was the Berkshires, and those were garbage.
So therefore,
Hopefully
these
aren't.
there's no way that these could possibly be worse than those, right? Right,
Let's hope
exactly.
not.
I agree.
I mean, these are
I
big ass
agree.
photos.
Can I have a picture?
I
Can I have a
agree.
picture of this, please?
Okay, yeah, hold on.
And in the other corner, we have the Western
Corner.
Pacific 2A2s of what
Ooh,
class?
that's me.
Of what class? I do not know. I haven't looked yet.
They're the Mark 60s and stuff.
Which Mark 60s?
I don't know which. I'm gonna do.
Pick one you think will be a fair fight between you and the DT&I Mikados.
Come on,
I'm
Achilles,
going
fight me.
to go with the middle one.
Okay,
The
so
6311.
the Mark 60 311. Alright, so I need to punch these in. This will be the DT and I. What class is it? What name is the class of Mikados? Or what kind of thing?
800.
DT and I 800 class. 800 class versus. What the hell is Dean? Dean is trying to, like, trigger epileptic seizures. Alright, fix it.
I love seizures.
Gotta get your daily dose of seizure.
WNP.
Caesar.
No, not WNP. WP. Western Pacific.
He's having a
not
Caesar.
Western and Pacific. Mark 63.
Caesar.
I wish my mother would turn the TV down, but she doesn't want to. Can you guys really hear it?
No, not really.
Mommy. Mama.
Mom. I still do that to my mom.
Does she hate you for it?
I mean, sort of. She hates me for a lot of things. Not really.
Does your mom love you, Willis?
Yeah. My mom tolerates me.
Alright, Achilles,
It's the
fight
mo-
me.
Think
It's
about
the
a
most
lot
I
of
could
it.
ask for.
I want you to make the starting move, Jenner.
Okay.
Oh, okay, that's a new way to do it. Hold on. I'm not on the right document. Okay, now I'm on the document.
Alright. Where is it? What is your loco base ID?
Can I have a picture?
Right out of the gate?
Can I have a
You're
picture
that
of the...
desperate?
Hold on. Can I have a picture of the Western Pacific things, please?
Yeah, just a second.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's the boat.
Not WK.
Oh, we're doing these.
What are
What
these?
are we
This is the first time I've looked at. This is
Yeah,
the
I'm
first
here.
time I've looked at a picture of the Bessemer thing. It's like, oh,
It's DT&I. Thank you very much.
Frisco.
yeah.
Frisco. I didn't search Frisco.
Look, it's like, oh right, the thing that Milky thought was a Burke.
Yep.
I mean, it looks like a bird. That's a huge Mikado.
Frisco.
It looks like a Burke, but it's a Mikado.
Yeah.
I could
It's
tell
a
by the
wannabe
URL, and also by the fact that it was a 282.
Yeah.
I did not
Eight.
see
While
Ooh,
Achilles finds a
God.
picture of these elusive Mikados.
Come on, Achilles.
I'm trying, okay? Here's the next best thing. It's in a model. It's a model.
Okay.
I don't see any photos of it, like, anywhere.
They're in
Are
the
we sure
chat.
they existed?
It's a trap.
Oh god,
Sure,
that's so long.
That's not...
also not a working URL. Oh,
Just right-click the
boy.
photo.
Fake news.
fake news.
Fake URL
Right-click the
Thank you.
photo, Julie.
Thank you, Jader,
That's Canadian
for that
Pacific.
insightful,
for that insightful.
that insightful addition.
That's Union Pacific, and that's not even a 282.
Onion Pacific.
Are there
Well,
seriously
see,
not any
I have
pictures
the
of those
picture
things?
right here, Julie.
All
Alright,
Exists.
we'll post the picture, please.
Here,
It's only a
here's a
model.
model of
Who
one.
posts the picture? I just need a picture of these
Oh,
damn
these are-
things.
Those are cool
Oh.
looking.
Of course, Kevlon links the BLI one.
That's a
That's
stupid
not-
Lionel one.
That's a USRA Mikado.
Because that's
Oh my
freaking DLI with their freaking using
No,
the same
that's
model for everything.
Lionel. That's all I know. What's the BLI one?
The one above it.
The BLI one is also a USRA Mikado, but it's a heavy Mikado. So far we've determined that it is both a heavy and light USRA Mikado, when knowing in reality it is neither of these things.
Okay, is this it? I think this is it. It's a brass model, so if it's not it, then I don't. Then this locomotive doesn't.
I'm not convinced these
looks
exist.
right.
Wait!
Okay.
I found one.
Not-
I found one.
You found one.
It's
one?
a tiny picture.
It's got a
but I
feed
found one. Yes, it does.
Oh wait!
No.
No! I found a better one. I actually found a good one.
There.
Yeah, that.
That is a very little picture. It's kind of cool though.
What is this? A picture for ants?
It has a hat. Okay.
It does have a
Feed
hat.
water heater.
All right.
Oh, there we go. Thank you,
Okay.
Kevon.
Oh wait, did he get a
Can
big
we
one?
get-
Oh, thank God!
yeah.
It's a normal size picture.
He's got one that's like reasonable size. Holy Moses, those are big pistons.
Oh my
Whoa.
gosh!
Thick.
Really big.
Yeah, thick.
Spoilers.
Strong.
All right. Anyways. All right.
Jader,
now that we
my
have both of the
loco base
freaking
ID is
pictures.
7629.
Mine is 14.
God
Oh my
damn it.
God!
Okay,
Yes.
No wonder
I
why
will
you
win.
entered with that.
the biggest wins. So, Jader,
No.
go ahead and tell me.
Okay, I'll continue the
No,
slaughter.
the biggest does not win. The smallest wins because it means you were entered first.
Yes.
All right.
That doesn't count.
Yes, it does.
What
I mean, that
is-
doesn't count.
You're fake news.
or fake news?
Yeah, and you
All right.
lose.
Okay.
Wrong.
Who built you?
Who built me? I am. Alco!
Wrong. Lima. Lima's better.
No.
I don't.
No.
I pulled my audio.
Baldwin is renowned for mass production. Alka is renowned for
Hold on.
having probably some of the best builds, and Lima is Lima.
Superpower. We gave you guys
They did have
superpower.
they did have superpower. However, these
Super.
particular engines were not renowned for being superpowers.
Oh.
I don't know. I can't give that one to Lima. I'll have to pick Alco over Lima.
Ooh.
Yeah, that one I think gotta go to Alco.
Hey, Jader. That's something I'm not gonna ask that. That's something I know I will lose. What is your...
Favorite color.
Yeah, sure. What is your tender water capacity?
Okay. 14,300 gallons.
12,180.
Yeah,
Ah.
if you had actually looked at the engines, you probably would have realized
I
that
did.
wasn't smart.
I did, but the picture was so of
Suck it.
the DT&I was so small.
Then stop looking at the small picture. There are two bigger pictures. Oh, the DT&I one? That's not a small picture.
Whatever. Moving on.
Okay. All right. Wait. Do you have coal or oil?
We are. Where do I see the coal oil? I don't remember.
Weed
It's
power.
like right. It's right below the water.
Water.
Like.
We
No, they-
are. Oil.
Okay. Never mind. That. All right. Not do that
moving
one.
on.
Great.
What's your weight on drivers?
Weight on drivers. 246 tons. 22,400.
200. Oh, I hate you.
No.
248,500 pounds.
246,000.
Oh my god.
I hate you.
Way
I hate
to
you.
be those guys.
Literally 2,000.
God damn it, I hate you.
Alright,
Very close race.
continue.
That's something I'm going to lose. Hold on. Gotta think about this question. Because it's going to make all the difference.
You're at 2-2. I don't think something's gonna make all the difference yet.
Okay, what is your... This is a shot in the dark. What is your minimum weight?
Okay. 104 pounds.
103 pounds.
Oh my
What?
god.
No.
Hang on.
No.
Has anyone ever actually manufactured rail that's 103 pounds per yard?
I doubt it, but whatever.
What
Math.
exactly? What? Okay.
Computer. Oh, this is one I know. I think I can win.
Oh no.
Actually, never mind. What is your tractive effort?
Okay, attractive efforts. 55,671 pounds.
I gotta find it again. 63,467.
Okay, all DT&I engines are trash.
Yeah, we already knew that. You were the only one living the fantasy.
I decided to give him a second chance. And that was a stupid.
Alright, Agilities, continue the slaughter, please.
Okay,
I hate this game.
how
you
many
were the one who
built?
decided to pick this engine!
Exactly.
thought they
Oh,
wouldn't
actually,
be
never
bad.
mind. Scratch that question.
No, what did you say?
Don't hate the game, player.
What's the driver wheelbase? I'll give you this one.
Okay, 16.75 feet.
16.5.
What?
I'll give you that one.
No. The
Actually,
shorter
no.
wins.
That's not how the...
Shorter
What?
wins.
Never
What?
mind. I knew that.
By...
I like how when you're
0.25
even when
inches.
you're trying to give the DT&I thing points, it doesn't
You
happen.
fail. You
Oh
fail.
my gosh. There's.
Okay, yeah, all DT&I
What
engines
is?
are garbage.
What is? What is
What is love?
Baby,
Baby, don't
hurt
hurt
me.
What is the boiler pressure?
Booler.
Oh,
260 psi.
200. So you get that one.
Ah,
Okay.
Oh, I gave you that one. I let you. I'm trying to make
Yeah.
it.
I let you win.
So it's. I let you win that one.
Alright,
Yeah.
Jader,
Watch,
see
Jader's
if
gonna
you can
come back
figure
and
out something
slaughter.
that gives you points.
okay.
Hey guys, what kind of valve gear do you have?
No.
Wall shirts.
Oh, wall sharts. Okay.
All right.
What?
We both have wall shart.
Oh, so you do. I was looking at the mount and thinking it was Baker. Why am I still looking at the really tiny picture? I have a bigger picture.
Oh my god.
Actually, then it changes hands anyway, so...
Yeah. Well, no, it doesn't, because this was a... You know, when we ask questions, it doesn't screw with it.
Oh, okay. It doesn't count with me when
no,
we ask
so-
questions.
So that didn't do anything.
Okay.
That was
When we're
utterly
equal.
pointless.
Jellies.
Let's go with.
Wait, Jader, when do you ask?
When were
yeah,
you
when-
built?
1921.
1940.
How are you built in 1940 and still this much
How are
garbage?
you so
I don't know.
And still this garbage.
Is newer better or newer?
Newer is
Newer
better,
is better.
Newer is better.
theoretically.
Sometimes.
Can we have
Newer
older
is
people?
better? Maybe.
We're breaking the mold here.
Freaking old.
Jader.
Okay.
Sorry, I was watching TJ's. There you go.
What is your engine weight?
Engine weight
Wait.
323 tons.
300 and what?
23 tons.
Tons or thousand
369.
pounds? Tons or thousand?
369, 500,000 pounds. Okay.
Wait, who won that?
Yours is Achilles. He is light.
Slightly.
I don't understand. How is it that I have bigger tractive effort, more tractive effort, but I'm lighter?
Because yours was
Because
not built
DTI
out of
sucks.
garbage.
That's true.
Yours is not.
Wow. Who did-
I don't think. I guess when they were building the DT and they went to a junkyard and just took.
They went to
some
like
stuff.
welfare
No,
or
they went to Ford.
Gee. I mean, I don't like
found
Fords.
on.
What's the
road
difference between
dead.
Power L1 and Power MT? Is that one of the questions the world may never know?
Just
There's an explanation.
go
just,
with
just
it.
Whatever.
Just go with it.
It's a number that means something.
Jader,
Yes.
you're not Jader Webold. What is your Robert Le Messina power words? What is Robert Le Messina's power computation?
Okay, 17,368.
14060. Oh, 60!
Ah, suck it.
Wait, what was
Okay.
Oh,
yours?
you're so bad, O'Gillies. What?
Hold on, what? Robert Louis's power computation? Say that again?
Mm-hmm.
Say that
Okay,
again?
17,368.
Okay, 17.
14060.
Oh, okay. I thought you said 70. I was like, what the hell?
Suck it, Achilles. This is where I win. This is where I...
Oh yeah, this is where Jader stages his comeback.
Alright, same as above plus superheater percentage.
16,591.
22,752.
Jader doesn't need a superheater to beat you.
Oh, I do have a
That's how bad
superheater.
it is.
I was gonna say he is superheated though.
Continue.
Okay. Same as above, but substitute firebox area for grade area.
88,736.
What?
88,736.
98,774.
Damn, son. How?
Okay. We'll do firebox stats after I kill him with this.
Right.
Power L1.
13,169.
41,243.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
What the hell?
Okay, these,
We were crapping on it, and now it's just
these are
like...
starting to redeem themselves. Alright. Power M2.
Oh yeah, Jader's gonna take it away here,
The
Yep.
dumpster fire is no longer on fire.
and then because he's gonna beat me in Firebox grade, evaporating
The
superheat.
world
Power-
is not on fire.
Jader, you'd say power MT?
Yes.
47208.
1463.58.
What?
Hold on. Say that again, guys.
What 400? Is it Power MT?
Yes.
472.08.
1,463.58. Oh my god.
I don't believe this.
How are your numbers
I
that
I'm okay
low?
with this. I don't know.
I don't know. That's how. What?
don't know.
Garbage.
Okay,
Is rising.
Okay, firebox area.
You suck.
376.
To what?
376.
376?
Yeah.
Wait. What the hell? 290.
Ha!
What?
Okay.
Wait. What?
What is going on?
I don't know.
Firebox area. That was that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Carry on. O'Gillies.
Let's see. We already did. Here we go. Factor of adhesion.
Oh, okay. 4.46. That's bad.
3.88.
Okay. O'Gillies is
Yours
closer.
is less slip.
Alright, now it's 9 to 8.
I think the DTNI Mikado took inspiration
area.
from the T1. What? No, it's my question, not yours.
Whatever.
Right.
Great area.
66.8 square feet.
70.3 square feet.
Damn it.
Oh my god.
This is a heated locomotive versus, guys. Oh, shut up.
It's a superheated locomotive versus.
We already did tractor effort. We already did adhesion. High pressure cylinders.
Okay.
As what?
How big are the cylinders?
Yeah, basically.
23
Yeah.
by 30.
28 by 30.
Damn it.
You saw that
Not,
coming.
you are not winning that, Jader.
Yeah.
Look at those things.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
why I
they're
asked.
It's
thick.
like strong.
What's driver diameter in inches?
63.
63.
Alright,
As opposed
Jader
to
has it.
diameter in Puerto Rico.
What? Why does Jader get it? It was a
Because-
tie.
Because it was a tie. He doesn't get a point, but he gets the ball. He gets to ask questions now.
Oh, here we go.
I get to speak.
Jader, it is 10 to 10.
What? How is it
Okay.
10 to 10? It's 9 to 10.
Whatever. It's 10 to 10.
Oh, it's 9 to 10.
Alright.
Oh yeah, you have to pull yourself out a little bit.
Fine. Superheating surface.
857.
1,815. Okay, I have a better superheater.
Damn, son.
Well, obviously, we've already gone over that
Yay,
fact.
Let's go.
Alright. Evaporative heating surface.
178.39.
4009.
What? I guess.
Whoa, no. You did the wrong stat, Achilles.
Oh, I did?
You did divided by cylinder volume, I think.
Oh, yeah, I did. Oh, here we go. 3.8. Yeah, I still lose.
Yep. Okay. Combined heating surface.
4671.
5824.
Yeah, you just have a really good boiler.
Yes, I do.
How is this happening?
I've got a question.
Uh-oh.
How many were
Okay.
built?
Jillies?
11.
12.
You're kidding.
Well,
Suck
actually, if you include all WP,
No, Jillies.
Yes.
No.
No, it's just your
it
class.
still counts.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
282s.
It's your
No.
class.
No.
Yes.
This is just that class.
Yes.
There's
That's
still
pathetic.
282s for
Yeah,
the
but it's not
So,
your class of 282.
By that logic, the 491 is the same thing as the 464, which they're not, because the 464 is a piece of garbage.
Ooh,
It's also a bird.
shots fired.
Okay.
Drop.
Evaporative heating surface divided by cylinder volume.
Wow, this is 178.39.
277.90.
Yeah, okay, I knew you were going to
But you
crush
almost-
with that one. He has giant cylinders and you have a giant boiler.
Yes. What
That's
happened?
everything.
Heather, you might actually have something.
I don't
What
know
happened
how
I
this
killed
is
you yet?
happening, but okay. I rescind my loss of faith.
You rescind your chanting of garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry, I'll bring it back.
Oh boy.
No, you won't.
Yeah, you're right, I won't.
Jader, now you're asking for it.
Oh dear. All right.
That
Style
very-
points.
oh, dear.
I don't think. No, not
Style
yet.
points.
No.
I have a
Yeah.
I have a front end
There's
throttle.
still a lot of questions I haven't asked.
You don't get to ask them if you don't
You're
have the
not-
ball.
Oh, so Jader gets to decide when we do style points?
Well, but
I
yeah,
just did.
Jader surrendered for style points.
Okay, then
Okay.
we can ask all the questions we want. Agilities, you can't though.
All right. Let's see. Style points. Power reverse. Front end.
That's not how-
Front end throttle.
Hang on. That's not how that works, is it?
What?
That if Jader has the ball and he surrenders, then O'Gillies can't ask any other questions that he
Jill
wants?
should be able to.
That's not how that works, because otherwise at the beginning of the battle you could win the first one and then surrender it and the other person wouldn't be able to do anything.
Well, yeah, but that's when we come in. We could ask questions.
O'Gillies can ask questions too, can't he? I'm pretty sure that's how it's worked in the past.
No, we've actually never done it like that in the past. We've just sort of it's always been drawn out to the point where by the time we decide to go to style points, there's like nothing else left.
Okay,
So, I mean,
O'Gillies, you're not allowed to ask any questions, but if you were, what questions would you want to ask?
I honestly, I'm not that smart about that whole thing, so I'm gonna let you decide.
But
I don't know
Oh,
what
no
questions
thing.
to ask.
Why will you
shut
try?
up.
Why will
Moving
you
on.
try?
we're moving on.
I appreciate the
No, I'm not
attempt.
sure which one I want to kill.
I can see a few style points. here and
Kill the
there.
Western Pacific. Okay. Style points
the
for
DC9
me.
thing has way better sanding.
Yes. It's giant sand dome.
It's just 'cause
front-
it's iron ore.
Front end throttle.
It's called a head-end throttle.
Same difference.
Does the other one not have a head-end throttle?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. I don't know how to recognize that. So.
I don't understand how to recognize head and throttle.
The
It that comes out of the cab, goes through a belt
Oh.
crank, goes up the side, and then goes into the smoke box.
Oh, okay. I see.
okay.
We have one. Yeah, we have
Dual
one.
cross compound air pumps. Or does he have that too?
Nope, he's only got the one.
Okay. All weather cab.
Seriously? Oh,
Nope.
man.
Mm-hmm.
I need to
Power
do that.
reverse.
He's got that.
Okay.
Getting absolutely destroyed.
I don't.
Oh wait, the number on the side of the cab and the DTI and the logo on the tender are like they're not paint.
They're embossed.
actual
Oh
metal.
my god.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Why?
actually kind of. I think that's one of the first legitimate style points.
For
Mhm.
one of these things, yes.
I don't know. See, CP did that for a while too, if I recall correctly.
Is it possible? Like, I don't have that many style points, so can I just?
That's because you're
forfeit?
trash.
No, I've got style
You're
points.
chum.
I can see
You're
like
chum.
2.
Okay, what are your style points, Julius?
That we have the hat and that there's a doghouse on the tender.
Is there a doghouse on the
For
tender?
some
Yes,
of them, the
look at the
doghouse
pic-
is on the tender. I don't know which ones though.
Okay. You can have the doghouse point then.
I like the hat. I think we have.
And the hat does not give you a point.
Well,
But
that's
style.
to prove it.
Well, but what is it? It's a superheater. The other engine has a superheater too. And
Yeah,
as a
but the
matter
other
of
one
fact,
has a
the other
tumor.
engine has,
This one has a.
it's got a better superheater though.
Yeah, I
Okay,
mean, yeah.
if you want to give it to him, fine. I'm all for. I like Worthington feed water heaters. Go for it.
I mean, sure, why not? It's not going to change it. It's not going to change the outcome of this.
That's fine. So he can have that. Also, he has actual doors in his cab.
Oh yeah, out the front. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, out the front.
Oh yeah, that's true. He has doors.
Yep, he's got an integrated spring rigging system between the trailing truck and the rear 2 drivers, which is kind of nice for rough trackage. Because, the other one, it's just separate.
This is the just to recount to everybody, including the viewers. This right there, that style point, is the reason we don't let Rival participate in Locomotive Versus anymore.
Yeah.
The thing
Know
that
too
nobody
much.
else would be able to get.
Yeah. Also, the reservoirs, I'm going to say, are pretty close to a push because the DT&I one has a bigger one on the one side, but the WP thing has more of them.
It's 3.
One thing that the
There's
WP
more
thing
of them.
does have is for lubrication. It's a lot easier to get to the pilot truck Bissell post,
Mm.
and it's a lot easier to hub the pilot truck axle itself without having to reach back behind the giant casting with the journal.
Okay.
And I know that's one that I've done before, and I've done the other way around, where it's easier to reach around the back of the journal box casting. The trouble is the way that Lima does pilot trucks is the same as trailing trucks. So there's this giant invasive casting that is really, really difficult to get around. The only way to go about it is from the bottom,
Oh.
which is annoying because it means you have to lie in the dirt. Also, I don't know if this really counts as a style point. Just interesting side note: the DT&I thing is not. I don't know if it's a modern FRA thing or if it was an ICC thing back in the day. The bell is non-compliant though. There's no manual ringer.
Yeah.
You're supposed to have. If you have an automatic ringer, you're also if you have an automatic air ringer, you're also supposed to have a means that the fireman can ring it in case the air ringer goes out.
I have a style point for the DT&I.
Okay.
Thank you.
It has handrails for the ladders in the front.
That it does. So
Oh,
does
yeah.
the WP engine, though.
The WP
The WP
engine.
has that too.
handrails
The
on
WP
the-
engine does not have much of an excuse for ladders.
It also doesn't really have much of an excuse for handrails, but it's got them on the side of the smoke box, which is about all you get for that step.
Okay.
That gigantic stick.
And in terms of style, this is just personal. This doesn't account for a point on either side, but I don't really like the look of the full enclosed ladders. I like just the steps.
Yeah, I mean
Take
that
a look.
it shows off sort of the modernity of the DT&I thing.
Yeah, another point for the DT&I thing real quick. All pile fittings. It's got pile cannonballs for marker lights. Whereas the WP thing has...
Has the
has pleb fittings. Pleb fittings.
Come on, scrub.
Ugh. Scrub fittings.
Scarbs.
Scarps.
Wait, I just realized the DT&I has journal boxes on the front pilot trucks.
Yeah.
Better than the hub, though,
Would
right?
Wouldn't you not want them?
You would... Well, all wheels will have a hub. The hub is the interface between the wheel and the... It's between the face of the wheel and the face of the holder of the bearing surface, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Oh, okay,
drive wheels all have hubs. Every wheel will have a hub. The difference is between a journal box and a wheel, you don't really have to do them on like freight cars or tenders. Pilot and trailing trucks, you do, and they're kind of a pain because, as I said, the only way to get to them is to reach under them if they have a giant casting. Whereas a wheel, you can go around the side.
Oh, okay, I see.
And that one is not. That's kind of what I was saying earlier. Is I've done it both ways before. It's not a blanket statement where you can say, "Oh, this is easier, this is better." It's kind of on a case-by-case basis.
Okay. Well,
The way that the DT and I engines are put together, it'd be harder to hub it. You do, however, have, bearing pads and an actual brass, so you can keep it better lubricated. Or it's easier to lubricate it. You don't have to drop a little binder out and redo that, which is a pain.
Okay. Well, if that's it, that's it. And
I
surprisingly,
think that's it.
the garbage has
trash.
pulled it out.
Garbage wins.
Ah,
And
Well,
Out of nowhere.
the garbage. It lives.
the garbage, it lives. There's a movie I didn't think anybody would reference.
That's
I don't know it.
The Wild, right?
That's The Wild, yeah.
I haven't seen that for like.
The garbage,
I
it
just-
lives.
I just remember that from a Nostalgia Critic. I haven't seen the movie for like 10 years.
Nostalgia Critic did a thing on it?
Yeah, it's like.
Three.
No, I think it was like the Disney December or something.
Oh, the DreamWorks Uary.
all right,
Yeah,
all
that.
right, all right, all right. Let's cast votes on this.
Shameless plug for Nostalgia Critic.
So, I don't know. I want to pick not garbage, but on basis of looks, I don't really like either of them.
Since I am replacement Milky, I have to go with WP.
That's true. That's
That's
fair.
fair.
That's understandable.
Achilles.
Achilles doesn't get to pick.
Oh, yeah, I don't get to vote.
He was a
Oh,
competitor.
wait, you're... What do you pick?
I don't know. I'm going back and forth. Honestly, I think they're both kind of ugly. I'll have to pick not garbage.
Garbage is better.
You're gonna pick not garbage?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick not garbage too. I like the WP
All
thing.
right.
No
so
pity
three-
votes.
3-0.
Correct.
Rudy.
Everybody likes the look of the NKP Burks, 765 and 1225. Oh, they look so good. I don't really like the look of them.
That's what I was
And the
getting.
DT&I
that's,
thing
that's
just looks
why-
like a smaller,
Yeah.
less powerful version of that.
I mean, I was gonna say that's what's I was like, what does this look like? It doesn't look like a J, like a New York Central Hudson, but it looks familiar. Oh yeah, it does. Lima.
Yeah.
It looks like other Lima
It looks like a
engines.
Burke. It looks like a Burke, but it's just like a smaller, prepubescent Burke.
It's a pretty- it hasn't grown the second pair at the rear yet.
They haven't dropped yet.
Exactly.
Oh,
Chuff. Well, on the note of
On the
moving
note
on to our
of
next section-
balls.
No, on the note of garbage engines.
Oh no.
The curse of the Terminus has subsided, ladies and gentlemen. This is news from yesterday.
Oh man.
bum bum
Yeah.
bum.
July. Oh, I just realized I have to change my calendar over to July.
Did I do that? I did do that. We're good.
I
I
don't
just
actually.
looked
I
at the
haven't
calendar.
owned a
UP
paper
calendars in
calendar
Idaho
years.
now.
The only paper calendar I have is a Patriots cheerleaders calendar that's just been on my wall forever.
Wow. But anyway,
What year is it?
Like 2009.
July 2nd, 488
Oh no.
return to service.
Oh.
Satan is back.
Why?
Satan's back.
Why?
Satan went down for 1472 and was sort of trapped in
Limbo.
Purgatory.
Purgatory.
Yeah, we'll fix the engine. Wait, the season starts in 2 weeks and we still need to fix the engine. Oh.
Fix the engine
fix the
faster.
So they got it rolled out. It was supposed to roll out at the beginning of the season, but as things go, it got a little bit delayed. And all joking aside, that wasn't a matter of laziness or anything. It's just how it goes.
Yeah, we know.
But though, it looks, despite my distaste for the 88 for reasons,
Same.
it looks absolutely beautiful. Whenever the DNS rolls an engine out of their shop and it's been out of shop, it's like, man, it's painted up horribly. The smoke box is silver to the point that it's almost white, and all the trim is really gaudy. And 88 looks like she should. With the exception of Cumbres and Toltec, she looks like she just got freshly outshopped by the Grand. Like, she looks good.
Cool.
You have a picture of it?
That'll last.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
last,
is there a picture?
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I'm staring at it right now. I suppose it'd help if we
Just
could look
nodding.
at it.
I'm just like, it looks good.
Mm.
Also, I
it
haven't.
looks good.
I think Skype's been listening because I have an advertisement for Doctor Who at the top of my Skype.
Ooh,
Nice.
that is beautiful.
Ooh. I like how
But
the
she
number
looks
board
good.
is shiny, like the edge of the number board.
Yeah. Yeah, the edge of the number board, everything is really, really nice and polished. That'll last approximately 20 seconds on
Yep.
the cat. But
I was
as a
gonna
matter of
say,
fact,
run a
if
steam
you
engine,
look
and
on
then-
like the wrapper sheet in front of the cab, it's already sooty and disgusting.
That's a steam engine for you.
She's already getting herself dirty.
Mm.
But
Oh.
she looks very, very pretty. Have I ever told the mime story on the podcast?
I don't know.
I've ever told
No.
you guys the mime
I
story?
think I'm pretty sure you've told me because I recognize.
I don't know anything about mimes. Oh no.
Okay.
But
So,
uh,
well, everybody knows that I hate the 88 because the 88 is evil. 88 like sits in the shed at night and speaks Latin backwards. But they can never cut up the 88 because it's a good judge of character.
oh, okay, yeah, you definitely told me this.
Yeah. The 88 is somehow a good judge of character. When it was down for an inspection and repairs before this time around, like years and years and years ago, and the handrail stanchions were exposed, it castrated someone.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
Oh god.
So,
Like, did a
Don't
guy
ask
slide down from the top of the boiler?
yep.
Oh.
And it's with the castings off of the stanchions. I remember them from the 91. They're just like, it looks like all threads sticking out of the boiler. It's just a steel spike.
Oh god.
Yeah. Let's picture that one. So she did that, and also she hates mimes.
Memes.
Yeah, not memes, mimes. Like the creepy French
Like the college you're
white
going
dudes. Ooh.
No, that's mines.
Yeah. Colorado School of Mimes.
Like he's been to mime college.
Oh boy. But anyway, during Chama days, the 88 was sitting on the platform. I don't know if they'd just come in with the train or anything. I've only heard this story once. It's been a while now. Regardless, it's sitting on the platform. It's going to be moving off pretty quick. And for some reason, they've got a mime at the station. He's been in town performing at the festival. You know, he went to greet the train as it came in or whatever in the way that mimes do because they're typically so joyous and full of life. And, you know, and the mime is standing on the platform. Everybody's just kind of sitting around watching it. And Mike and Sonny are sitting on the platform. They can see this coming a mile away. And they don't, you know, they're not going to tell the mime. They're just going to see how it goes. St. John gets ready to move off. And it's been sitting there a while. And the mechanical lubricator, you know, the mechanical lubricator is the device that as the drive wheels are turning, it pumps oil through a check valve into the piston.
Mm-hmm.
So there's residual oil and then steam that gets past the dry pipe as the engine is stopped, and you know they don't open the cylinder cocks all the way. Steam sits in the cylinders and it condenses down to water.
Mhm.
So there's this sort of boiling hot oil water bath mixture in the bottom of the cylinders that sits there while the engine is stationary if you don't pop the cylinder cocks. The engineer did not pop the cylinder cocks, but you have to pop the cylinder cocks to start moving.
Oh, no.
So, opens the cylinder cocks, opens the throttle, and as the engine moves off through the cylinder cocks, it shoots this boiling hot oil water spray off the side of the engine and coats this mime head to toe
Oh god.
in boiling oil.
Jesus.
Jesus.
He didn't go to mime college because I'm assuming mime rule number 1 is to stay quiet. And
Oh,
from
God.
what I've heard, he made some very interesting noises followed by some very choice language.
Jesus Christ.
But
I
they can
feel
never
so-
cut up
I
the
feel so
88
bad
because
for
it's a
him.
good judge of character and hates mimes.
I feel so bad for him.
Chuff.
Jesus. Yeah, no wonder.
He's just
88
cussing
is-
out the engine with a French accent.
Yeah.
Hon.
It's like the Donald Duck thing.
Anyways, to go back to locomotives growing a pair, the Massachusetts Bay Railroad enthusiasts are running the Red Ball Special on the Conway Scenic Railroad, running from North Conway through the Crawford Notch to Hazens and Whitefield in New Hampshire. So all the way, that's actually a pretty good distance through the mountain division of I believe what was formerly the Maine Central. So they're going all the way to an old junction of where the MEC and the B&M met, which was at a ball signal. One of a few.
We need those for trains.
I know,
We do.
I want one for trains so badly.
Ben Dorsey, please.
Where is
Ball
that
signal.
exactly? I think that's here, but I don't know. I'm trying to find exactly where. I think it might actually be at Wambeck Junction. Yeah, it's a real thing.
Wombat.
But I'm trying to figure out exactly where, but yeah, it's somewhere in the mountains here. Oh yeah, there it is, Whitefield. Ball signal in Whitefield. So, they're running that. Tickets, of course, are limited, as they always are. And tickets are now on sale. So, that is September 3rd, 2017. I would go to that if I could, because that's a long excursion for the Conway Scenic to run. And you get to see the ball signal.
Isn't that like on the entire line?
It's way longer than they ever run. They normally only go to Fabian's for special events, which is at the base of basically at the base of the Cog Railroad from Mount Washington. But this is much further than that, like significantly further. So I don't know how long it's going to be, but that is quite the distance.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you guys have all these tourist railroads that you can run long excursions on.
Well, I mean, because there are so many freaking... I look at the open railway map for that area, and it's like somebody threw down, not like totally cooked spaghetti, but like semi-cooked spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
No, and it's just a bunch of, it's a network, and everything's roughly traveling in the same direction. But, yeah, it's kind of nuts the way things are over there. Is this connected? I don't even know, because sometimes whatchamacallit is not the most accurate open railway map, but it's really helpful. Anyways.
Yeah, it is.
So, speaking of things that are actually being really helpful, you know what frickin' Amtrak is trying? They are trying. There is work being done on Penn Station currently. In fact, they've posted an update video with a time lapse and some pictures of removing switches and stuff like that. Renewal of 125 feet of track is going on. Total switch replacement. Replacement of 96 block ties in the East River tunnels. Position of key equipment in New York, New Jersey in preparation for the extensive summer work in July and August. So they're doing work and they're preparing for even more work. So maybe there's hope in this summer of hell. But not yet. So, Kevon.
Speaking of Amtrak and hell...
Oh, I was going to ask you about a good song that you like. But, go ahead.
The Amtrak Cascades had a derailment. And the front locomotive... God dang it. That's what you... The front locomotive and the, I guess, transition car, baggage car, fell on its side.
The hump.
There were no injuries. No one's killed, thankfully.
They rolled the train onto its side and there were no injuries, which is incredibly impressive.
There's nothing confirmed yet. Mm-hmm. With all the heat kinks?
Oh yeah, no, it's too hot.
Probably,
hot damn.
It's probably one of those.
Got a police in the fire.
Too hot.
Copyright strike.
Yeah.
Nah, we don't sing good enough for that.
Say my name, you know who I am.
Yeah, there was a quote. Let me read the quote. I just saw it and it disappeared. So they said the train applied its brake without any warning and then came to a violent stop. So I'm guessing it.
Yeah, no, I've been in a train crash. That usually happens.
Yep. PTSD.
Well, there was no crossings or anything around there, so that would be the only likely thing.
They just freaking rolled it. They had Denzel Washington driving.
Oh gosh.
Kevon, don't take the A train.
But I love the A train.
An A train derailed on not this. Yeah, actually on last Tuesday morning, 125th Street Station in Harlem. As many as 34 people hurt, 6 transported to hospitals. But they just
80 million dead.
They just crashed a subway train in the tunnel. It hit the wall of the tunnel after it came off the tracks. Like, Jesus Christ.
They've had so much stuff going on that I'm surprised people ride the train at this point.
Well, I mean, you know, the MTA has done some serious quick work to get the service back as quickly as they did, but oh my god. Like I said last time, and like I just mentioned, they're calling it the Summer of Hell. And there's reasons why. What?
All of this just happened out of nowhere and just does not want to stop.
No.
Like, beforehand, you've never heard any really derailments or anything until just now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
the past
it's
few
like,
months.
this stuff is never this bad, but oh boy, here we go. You know, and then we've got other stuff. We've got the Lakeshore Limited, although this wasn't a derailment, but the Lakeshore Limited had to take a detour. This is actually something cool, which I'll come back to in just a second, because there was something a little bit worse that happened to Amtrak recently, and that is New England Central washout disrupted the Vermonter. If you recall the Vermonter from a little while ago, if I recall correctly, this was the train that ran into the avalanche a little while ago up in Vermont. And now they got their track washed out from under them. Fortunately, there was no derailment or anything, but the track inspector reported water over the rails, so the Amtrak crew proceeded to and stopped at Windsor, and that's where they annulled the train because there was a washout on the track ahead. So the Vermonter gets shafted a lot because the New England Central does not care that much about their tracks.
Wait, aren't they owned by Orange Flag now?
Yeah, they are. Yes, they are.
This is what is it?
Orange.
Penn Central all over again.
Yeah.
1968 Penn Central footage colorized.
And as well, Amtrak hit and killed 2 CSX employees that were on the track. That story is still developing, I believe, but that's, they released the names. They didn't really say, why or how it happened, but Hunter Harrison, who apparently has a heart somewhere in there, has released a message.
He's like the
employees.
Grinch.
Yeah, it grew 3 sizes. Possibly because he absorbed the souls of the employees.
You're a mean one.
But, he sent out an email to all the CSX employees and to the victims' families, friends, co-workers. It was a conductor and conductor trainee based in Cumberland, Maryland. And, CSX dispatcher alerted the crew that the train had tripped an automatic defect detector. The train stopped, and 2 conductors got off the train to look for the problem. They were struck and killed by a westbound Amtrak Northeast Regional train. So, yeah, they were off their train checking a defect, and they were hit. So that's unfortunate, And I was talking to a friend of mine today about about things on the track, and she was exploring a depot near where she is, and I was actually doing research, and they're like, they're going to restore train service there at some point. Sent me a picture of her lying down on the rusted rails. I was like, hey, you're not supposed to do that. Although very clearly these were inoperable tracks. I was like, hey, look out.
Just still don't do
I sent her the email, and
don't.
Yeah.
I mean, every now and again I see somebody on my Instagram feed, usually some slutty girl, and her boyfriend. They're like, exploring on the railroad
Taking
tracks.
prom pictures on the railroad tracks.
Yep, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
how stupid can you be? I mean, it's
as heartless as he was about it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
As heartless as EP was about it in the ad campaign that followed, it was, 6 months ago that somebody was taking either graduation or prom photos on the track and was struck by a freight train?
Yeah.
I think I didn't hear about
Somebody
that.
just
we reported on that.
Some girls out here just randomly wanted to take some pictures on Soldier Summit, because there's never any trains, and there just happened to be a train.
Never any trains on Soldier Summit.
And then there just sort of happened to be a train one day, and yeah.
The only place I'd ever really feel safe taking those kinds of pictures would be like Tennessee Pass, and only because you can physically see that there are rock slides covering most of the tracks.
If you
spots.
know that the track is unused.
Yeah, like the track is not, there's not even going to be a maintenance truck or anything. The track is physically it is not usable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if it's like, even if it's like a once a week kind of short line.
Yeah, don't screw around on trains.
You never know.
Yeah, I mean, I had one of those bits where I was like, oh, I guess the old colony doesn't run trains anymore, and I went out to film a little thing with a friend of mine, and we got out there, and we start walking down, and sure enough, the Newport dinner train comes around the corner at all of 5 miles an hour, and we're like, oh, we got to turn around and go back the other way for a little bit, and so we just sort of quickly walk down the tracks away from the train for a couple hundred yards and get off.
It's like, oh no.
Yeah, it's like the steamroller of Austin Powers.
Yeah.
It's like, it's very different than...
Get out of the way!
...than the Northeast Corridor, where you will get turned into a sentient red mist.
Mm-hmm.
Just for looking the wrong way for half a second. So. Now, so I am pretty sure he did absorb their souls, though, because he's been expending some sort of energy to make CSX run on time. This is Hunter Harrison I'm talking about. So,
Hunter Harrison is Hunter.
At age 72, Hunter Harrison is proving that he's better at it than anyone else in America, this article states. And these guys really seem to like him. 3 months into his tenure at CSX Corp, trains are running 10% faster, and the percentage of on-time arrivals has risen to 79% from 58% before he came on board. The company's shares have jumped 42% since January, when Harrison left the top job at CP. So, maybe he is some sort of benevolent god that makes railroads run right, but he doesn't,
Put him in charge of Amtrak and see what happens.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
That's how you get your services cut, ladies and gentlemen. He will, he will get the money, which is very good for the company. It's not so good for the people working in the company. Case in point, he's in one move he's cutting 70 or 80 jobs in where was it? We have an article on this. Actually, 70 jobs at Huntington's CSX locomotive shop. So, in the name of profits, in the name of getting the trains on time, they're, cutting down and doing this, and, maybe he's not the most benevolent, but I guess he knows how to get the job done. I won't deny him that. So...
Speaking of people who can hopefully get the job done,
oh no,
Amtrak is getting a new CEO and president.
That is true.
Yeah.
So Amtrak announced that it has named Richard Anderson, a 25-year veteran of the aviation industry, he worked for Delta, I believe, as the next president and chief executive officer of Amtrak.
At least it wasn't Pan Am.
His role begins July 12th.
Okay. Well, he'll be starting soon. We'll see what we get out of this. We're in sort of an upswing for Amtrak currently. We talked about the new services coming to Roanoke last podcast.
Yes.
So.
Except, I don't know. Maybe those won't last with the budget, but who knows?
We'll see.
Speaking of Roanoke, the the Spirit of Roanoke, Norfolk and Western 611.
Spirit of Roanoke?
The team behind 611. The team behind 611 is looking to expand their excursion operations to new territory, which would require getting 611 to Amtrak certified.
Didn't they do that?
They're working on it.
Oh, okay. Come on, guys. Give me steam.
Please come out here.
They're
not going to come out there.
Yeah, I know. They can't run on the UP because she's coal, isn't she?
They're hoping to have this. They're hoping to have an expanded route, operational area by the 2018 excursion season. So this time next year.
I myself isn't very knowledgeable on 611. Is she coal or oil?
She's coal.
Coal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Northeast locomotive are coal fired.
Julie's think east coal, west oil. I don't know, somewhere else wood.
Somewhere else.
She wouldn't be able to run on the UP because UP makes requires every steam engine that runs on their lines to be oil fired.
Somewhere else.
Yeah.
Basically just the DNS when Eureka is there. What other wood-fired engines are there currently left?
I mean,
I think there's like a little
operate.
Yeah.
Isn't there like a little thing in Florida?
That doesn't count. It's Florida.
No, it is wood.
I don't actually know what you're talking about.
Neither do I. I don't know.
Raj.
I'll be quiet.
Oh, whatever. No, I don't know any other major wood-fired things. So
I can't
we
think
can't
of any.
forget about that anthracite.
Speaking of Amtrak's upswing, though,
That counts as coal.
we're getting trains, and I talked about this a little bit, but now it's more specific. Amtrak is running trains to Grand Central. Or will be, because of the service changes at Penn Station. So Empire Service is going to be running all but 2 or 3 of its trains from Grand Central. 2 of them will be canceled. 1 of them will operate from New York Penn. And another one, train 291, will operate from New York Penn to Rutland, Vermont, instead of all the way down the line. Northeast Regional, 3 round-trip trains, so 6 total trains have been canceled between New York City and Washington, D.C. 3 trains will make additional stops to accommodate the passengers, like the leftovers from the other ones. Train 79 will make extra stop, blah, 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 blah. Service between New York City and Boston will operate as scheduled, so no changes.
Does the Northeast Regional go all the way to Boston?
Yes.
Or does it stop in, it stops in, or it goes all the way to Boston? I thought it stopped in New York.
It goes from Boston through New York to Washington, and some of them carry on to Newport News. Keystone Service, 3 round-trip trains, which normally operate between Harrisburg and New York City, will only operate between Philadelphia and Harrisburg, so they're not going all the way to New York City. 1 round-trip train will operate between Newark, New Jersey, and Harrisburg. So, service between Philadelphia and Harrisburg will operate as scheduled, but the trains aren't making it all the way to Penn anymore. Adirondack and Maple Leaf service, Adirondack, they will be combined during the renewal period. Customers will depart New York Penn and travel to Albany Rensselaer, where the trains will be separated. And there are no changes to the Acela.
Because speed!
Crescent is going to be operating from Washington, D.C. instead of New York City. Silver Service. Tickets that are normally only available to long-distance customers traveling between New York City and Tampa, Miami will be open to all Northeast Corridor travelers. So they're opening ticket sales, so you can use it as sort of a regional train. But no actual schedule changes there. Cardinal Service, same thing. So the Cardinal and the Silver Service are going to be sort of supplementing the missing Northeast Regional trains. So that's interesting. It's interesting to see how they're handling this. Hopefully they will be able to handle it even harder when they inevitably lose one of the Hudson River tunnels. if nobody pours money into them quick.
Hopefully Elon Musk will come over there and help out.
Elon Musk and his
Tesla
boring
trains.
and his boring company.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Here's some big talk, and I hope it goes somewhere, but then again, it is Chris Christie. Newark, New Jersey. Despite not being included in President Donald Trump's proposed budget, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie says he believes the federal government will come up with the funds to build a new rail tunnel between New York and New Jersey. Yeah, they're just gonna come up with it. You know?
I mean, they do that all the time, so...
The Hudson Tunnel project is expected to cost
like
millions
you come
of
down
dollars.
with something, right?
Yeah, exactly. It will help decongest that section of the Northeast Corridor, particularly after blah, 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 they were hit by Hurricane Sandy. Basically, Chris Christie is saying we're going to build the tunnel and we're going to make Donald Trump pay for it.
And it'd be huge.
I have all of the faith that this isn't going to happen. But, you know...
I think there's a chance.
I mean, you're telling me there's a chance.
Yes, there is a chance.
I'm sure there's a chance somewhere. I don't know about here. We will see if this becomes a reality, but the fact is it has to at some point, or else Amtrak is going to have a really, really, really bad day. When they inevitably lose one of those tunnels. And they might take it out on somebody like a backhoe. Right, come on.
Well, yeah, speaking of backhoes, someone drove a backhoe off of a bridge onto an Amtrak train.
Wait, they drove it off the bridge?
Yes, it fell off the bridge.
So he
said he doesn't remember it happening. He says he doesn't know what happened, so who knows? The Amtrak train was empty at the time, so no one was hurt.
Oh my god.
And the driver of the backhoe somehow survived, thankfully.
The backhoe is smushed against, like, a rock wall. I don't know how this guy is okay.
Yeah.
That is, well, another interesting predicament in the life of Amtrak. Backhoe attack. Diversion. Hey, Jader. This is your neck of the woods.
Yes. Oh yeah, diversion.
Diversion.
All right. So over the past weekend here, the Amtrak Late Shore Limited was it the east or westbound Late Shore?
Presumably it was both of them. Oh well, westbound.
Okay. The westbound Late Shore Limited took a detour due to track work on the Norfolk Southern. So the detour took it past the Mad River and NKP Railroad Museum. Finally remember the name of the damn place. Where's the... Ellis, you have the link for it, right?
Yeah, I do. I have it up here. I've clicked on it.
So, right, there it is.
Yeah, Lakeshore Limited.
Should say somewhere.
Yeah,
of course.
It only added, 4 hours to the delay. It only got to Toledo 9 hours and 41 minutes late. Yeah. That's bad even for the Lakeshore Limited.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
There's fireworks.
But there was a lot.
See, when I saw,
there was flooding there too.
When I saw pictures of it though, I was kind of surprised it didn't have an NS engine on the point. Like they would, you'd think they'd just have an NS crew running because Amtrak wouldn't be qualified.
I mean, they could have had an NS crew, but not an NS engine.
That's true. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, like I've said, I think I said this last time because we talked about it. The every time Amtrak brings a train into Grand Central Station, they need to get an MTA. A Metro
like a
North,
pilot.
Yeah, operator on board to drive it in because Amtrak engineers don't know Grand Central Station.
They don't know the spaghetti.
There's 200 switches in there or something crazy like that. You You don't
Something.
just
No,
learn.
no, not something crazy. Something stupid.
I want to see
Something
somebody make
central.
an HO scale model of Grand Central.
Something
my God.
highly central.
Penn Station.
Something very central, but yeah, no, that was that chaos, and once again, well, actually, you know what? This is just a page out of Florida Man's book. So, Weibo, remember what they used to fix the track in Florida?
Oh, I
Okay.
do.
This is what they use to fix trains in New York.
Chewing gum?
No, zip ties.
Baling wire?
Communism.
It's just about as good.
So, there's a picture of this 7 train with a bunch of zip ties on the wheel. I'm
Nice.
not entirely sure what they're doing, but presumably
safety.
holding something rather
Take a deep
important
breath together. Another
I'll
morning
play
of
video.
train pain.
Yeah.
Where's the picture of this?
It's in the link that I clicked on. It's if you scroll down.
Hang on. What is this holding together?
Like, seriously, safety.
It's holding the wheel on.
Undercarriage, is this standard?
Yes.
I can't tell what I'm looking at here. Oh. Ooh.
So yeah,
Ooh.
the
Hang on, how it...
Where can I find this picture?
it's in the article that
In
we
the article.
clicked on up here in my stuff. But yeah, that's yeah.
Hang on. Try and figure out what they're doing here.
They're holding the wheel on. I don't actually know what they're doing.
That's what I'm trying to figure out is it... It's an inboard bearing truck. What am I looking at here?
I don't know what you're looking at. I don't know what I'm
You're looking like
at.
a mess.
It's
You're looking at.
it's a train held together with zip ties. That's all. That's what we need to know
Yeah.
here.
That's all we need to know.
Yeah.
They used zip ties to fix it. So yeah, bad.
Yeah, no, not great.
Means no.
How about no? Any other,
Crazy touch
what
monsters.
other, oh, here's the Amtrak thing. I need this link, actually. Yoink. But yeah, we got any other kludges this week? Because I think that's what we've got for weird fixes.
I don't want to see anymore like
I don't want
that.
to see anymore. Yeah, no, I understand. Well, if we're done with those kind of fixes, let's take a moment and talk about something awesome.
Oh?
2 weeks ago or so, we got SP2.
SP2.
SP2. And I've actually played very brief amounts of multiplayer in the meantime. It's still slightly explosive. But
Does it work any better?
I got
at all?
into it, and then the host crashed
Oh.
repeatedly.
But we joined a game.
We did
That
join a
was the
game, and we
thing.
managed to put down the T1.
Huh.
So
And driving
Nice.
it. But
Yeah.
driving it crashed. the
I
game.
took off with it,
Supposedly.
but apparently the game had already crashed by then.
We need to do a multiplayer session at some point. On,
We need to get one
like,
to
on
work,
the,
but yes.
like on the Australian route or something.
What?
So,
Ding ding ding
Quote-
ding ding
quote,
ding
we are-
ding
That's
ding.
not possible.
quote, we are confident that we are delivering our most reliable and stable version of trains ever. Well, I don't know about that, but I haven't had any crashes due to the Forest of Death lately, so that's okay.
Yeah.
That's something.
The Zephyr arrived in Salt Lake.
Version of
City.
Tane ever, sure.
Yeah.
That's a rarity
Oh, wait,
for it to arrive early.
Miss me
did
some
they say version of Tane or version of
They
trains?
said version of... No, they said version of trains. I don't know about that.
See,
uh,
most stable versions like Trains 06 or something.
I don't know. Trains of 6
Oh,
had a
no.
half-life that slowly destroyed it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, they've added some really awesome little quality of life adjustments, too, like the little green bars over all the cars and industries showing how much they have. Like, how much to full. It is incredibly useful. But
That's nice.
they're trying.
I really like. Oh wait,
What?
Oh, he's
the
trying.
little bars like over industries and shit.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts about it.
That was when I first opened up SP2 opened up Tane after installing SP2. I'm just like, what the actual fuck are these?
Ooh, I saw them. I was like, oh, this is awesome. This is adorable.
This is great.
I'm so glad they did this.
I mean, it's so nice, especially with like boxcars and stuff.
Mhm. Yeah, so you don't have to right click on every single one.
Yep.
Blah 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 blah. Anyways,
Other trains news: K&L released the Canadian National K1D.
oh yeah, they did, and
It's
I know a
adorable.
couple people that already got it. Like immediately got it,
It's adorable.
and also they announced Ivan.
Super Ivan.
They announced a
Ivan.
better Ivan. So
Super communism.
Ooh.
So, the next thing up is the Frisco, and then Jefferson, the Mega Pacific, and then the Boobs, and then Southern
0 out of
630,
10. There's no Q2.
and then the Hiawatha for some reason, and then Ivan.
Probably with commission.
I am
mean, they're
disappointed
all
with this
commissioned.
page. No matter what, I'm always disappointed with this page.
Because
That's
there's not a
why.
Q2 on it,
Yep, exactly.
you have a problem.
I just want my Q2. He said he was going to release it, and then he just takes it away.
Come on.
How dare he.
It's time to stop.
Come on.
And then he takes it away. Come on, so betrayed.
Well, see, the whole thing was I was buying Q2s out of Smite. No. You know what? I can't afford it.
Chill.
I would
Chill.
dare call
Buying
that an
Q2s
addiction.
out of spite.
Come on, you need to go on My Strange Addiction.
Speaking of buying things out of spite, I almost bought tickets for UP's newest train excursion. I didn't though. That runs between that's currently running on August 13th between Omaha and Columbus, Nebraska, which it's not very far. But yeah, so the train runs on August 13th between Columbus and Omaha, Nebraska, and it's I'm opening the article. I actually didn't have the trains article open. So it's cranking up its diesel fleet. It's just an E9. From August 13th from Omaha to Columbus, and it proceeds from the Union Pacific Special will benefit the Union Pacific Railroad Museum Association, IE 4014. So yeah, that's pretty neat.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
That's nifty.
How neat is that? You know what's pretty neat? Free commuter rail.
D's nuts.
Seriously though,
Really?
did anybody want free
Jader,
commuter
can we give
rail?
him a strike for that?
No.
No.
I'm just kidding.
I know, Jader, you want any commuter rail,
Yes.
but if you come here, any in-state stuff is free. So you can take the train from Providence to Warwick to Wickford Junction, completely free of charge except for parking. But parking is free at Wickford Junction, so there you go.
That's awesome. Wait. Like, how did they expect to make money from this stuff?
They don't. What
They
they're
don't.
trying to do is they're trying to encourage people to pick taking the train over driving to work. Most people, the cost is like, I'm not going to pay money. I'm not going to spend money on the train. I don't feel like figuring this out. And I can totally sympathize with not wanting to bother. But, it's going to be free from now until the end of the year. So people have until then to get used to taking commuter rail in instead of driving Route 4 and I-95 every day, which can get pretty congested in the morning rush hour.
This is MBTA, right?
Yes.
So basically, MBTA is not going to make any money for the next 6 months.
No, it's just the MBTA in Rhode Island. So it's the three stations: Wickford Junction, TF Green, and Providence. So traveling between those three things. So it's trying to encourage, Rhode Island commuters, people going from points south of Providence, to take the train into Providence instead of driving it. And then, once you get people hooked on that, they'll add the fees back, and, bam, got them. But even still, it's a whole, $5 between Wickford Junction and Providence. So, still totally worth
That's
it.
where I thought commuter rail was more expensive. For
Speaking
some
of,
reason.
That's where you go.
Speaking of saying, "Ha, got him." Actually, this is going to be getting to one of my big points.
I mean, back.
That's pretty much what the GNW is saying about the Utah right now.
Orange Plague.
And I've gone on long monologues in that, in the Iron Horseman.
Kyle.
And it's all thanks to this magical little railroad that couldn't get enough power for itself, called the Kyle Railway. Now, if you don't know, the Kyle runs between somewhere in Kansas to somewhere in Colorado. Basically, it doesn't run. It just runs. It connects nowhere to nowhere, and so basically, in early March, the Genesee in Wyoming, aka the Orange Plague, aka worse than the Yellow Plague.
I'm showing off some Orange Plague right now because I have my own grievances
they repainted the SD70.
Yeah.
Started taking the signature to Utah MK5000 Stees. Now, at first they only took 2, and we were like, okay, we're going to keep the rest. And then they took 2 more, so there were only 2 left. And they stayed for a few days, and then they left. And then we're thinking, okay, that was the worst of it. We're not going to lose any more power. And we thought that for a few months until earlier weeks ago. So basically, before I start that, the Utah, exactly 1 year ago, had 13 6-axle units, a heavy axle, 4,400 horsepower units, to power its coal trains, which don't run anymore because the power plant switched over to natural gas, and then the ethanol trains.
That gas.
They had, and the locals, which the smaller scale locals like the RUT 211 and the 211, 212, the 311 and the 312, which are just little jobs that go out and switch. The 312 interchanges with another short line. The 311 switches a oil refinery, and the 211 and the 212 just switch a massive industrial place. But the RUT 611 and 612 and their massive ethanol trains that they run in the summertime. You know, the RUT 611 runs from Provo, which is basically was the former DNRGW terminus for most of its trains in the state, for half of them. And then it runs from there and then into Salt Lake up a 1.5% grade going through a little canyon, and then going through, it's called Point of the Mountain, and then into Salt Lake, and then into Ogden and back. And that, like I say, it averages about 1%. So they are 4 SD50Ss. They're Australian rebuilt SD50Ss. Which are, by the way, they're just like normal SD50Ss and absolute garbage. Could handle it. They had 2 in storage, and they had 2 out, and they were like, they could handle it.
The garbage.
So, not too long after the MKs left, like the first train they ran after the MKs left, one of the SD50s, when they were going through the Point of the Mountain up the 1.5% grade, just stalls. It just died randomly. The train stalls, and they cancel it for the night. And then that happened again. So, and then they took the 2 other SD50Ss, number 6063 and 6064, which had been in storage. They took them out and started running them on trains because they were obviously running low on power and they needed them. And so that just kind of became the norm for the last 2 months until about 2 weeks ago. 6063 and 6063, 6064, and 6062. There's actually 5. I thought there was 4. Those 3 hadn't been seen until mid-June. So it was determined that they had left the state because GNW keeps sending the locomotives to the Kyle. So now, the Utah Railway, which formerly had up to almost 13 6-axle locomotives exactly 1 year ago, is now down to 2 because all of them keep going to the Kyle because they're so desperate for power. they're just so desperate for power, even though they're running in flatlands. They're so desperate for power that they send all the locomotives out there. So at this point now, the Utah is desperate for power and can't run their BNSF contracted locos, which is what the RUT locos are, and is probably not going to be around much longer because they can't run them because they don't have power because the GNW took it all. So it's just sort of a sad thing because obviously the Utah has been around for almost 141 years, basically since the DNSL was bought by the Rio Grande. I don't know what year was that, Webbled. Oh, Webbled's dead. Yeah. So, just thought I would cover that and get that out.
Well, we'll see how the situation develops.
He's doing the sad.
Webbled, what year was the DNSL bought by the RG?
That's a complicated question. The year that comes to mind is 1924. I can't remember, though, if that is when they actually bought them or if that's when Dotsero was complete. No, Dotsero was completed later. It's
just complicated.
They were very, very closely connected from, like, right around the turn of the century, and then were finally officially bought up sometime in the 30s, I believe. It's a complicated, because the guy that built the DNSL sat on the board for the DNRGW and was the president of the DNRGW for a while.
So yeah, as far as I understand, the Utah has been running their trains through Soldier basically since the DNSL was built. And they still own one of the main lines.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think they sold it, but...
Right,
yeah,
well,
just something I wanted to get out.
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting situation. Hopefully the GNW kind of sees what's unfolding and, cares at least a little bit, because I'm sure they could make money off of those somehow.
I feel like you would think they would just take power evenly from other railroads instead of just barraging one railroad.
Oh,
but...
I mean, I have very little doubts the reason that our big engines were repainted is because they are about to leave. So, needless to say,
yeah.
I think they're pretty good at taking power from all sorts of places. That one just happens to be nearby.
They're probably going to go to their Kyle. Mm-hmm. Because I don't think the Utah is the only one losing power. I think it's just lost the most.
Mm-hmm. So, anyways...
But I mean, it's not like they're getting scrapped. You got to look at it from both sides. It's not like they're getting scrapped. It's just they're not in Utah, and yeah.
I'm curious.
So, anyways, we've only got a few minutes left here, so we're gonna bang out some interesting stuff. For one. Well, first of all, a train full of butter tipped over. That was the thing that happened.
Real smooth.
East Penn Railroad managed to dump 3 cars of a 23-car freight train. Nope. I don't know. Shut up. Resulting in a diesel leak from these reefer cars. 17 cars were carrying a propane, but
somebody say propane.
Accessories.
They didn't derail.
Yay!
Either way, that's the butter train story.
That propane.
They did in fact have it was probably the butter. Like they slipped or something.
Speaking of things that slip,
make it quick. What?
UP train fell over due to wind, and ice cream or possibly whipped cream fell into a river and killed a bunch of fish.
Great. This is. I wanted to sort of rile stuff up with this because we have 2 different sources, and one of them says ice cream was what was spilled, and the other one says whipped cream, and I can't find like a corroborating source, to sort of nail it down and swing it one way or the other. I wanted to set up like a mock debate, like was it ice cream or was it whipped cream?
Cool tip.
Alright,
Cool
what
tip.
else? Cool thing from somebody else? Alright.
The Joliet rocket was a great success.
Oh yeah, I heard good things.
It drew 3,000 people.
Damn, son. Is that just in ticket sales?
Let's see.
Or is that in foamers as well?
I don't know. Oh wait, it says 3,000 passengers, so I'm going to assume that's 3,000 tickets. Yeah, that's insane.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, son.
CSX, learn a thing or two. Good PR is good PR.
Yeah, good.
Good PR is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the people who said they spilled ice cream says it's whipped cream. So it's whipped cream.
Oh, okay, it's whipped cream. Damn.
Cool tip.
I mean, mystery solved. Alright, well, anything else interesting? Like immediately interesting?
BNSF had their BNSF is memorializing the people who were involved in the Texas Panhandle accident last year. Sorry, can't speak.
Oh, okay.
Where two BNSF trains drove into each other.
They have a heart too.
Yeah, and the train stopped at 9:30 a.m.
Oh.
In solidarity for those who passed away.
Wow. Alright. Anything else real interesting? What else? Because I want to go over what's going on with the Pennsylvania Special very briefly, and then we can end this here. Because we started late, we're running late. Whatever.
I'm somehow still here.
Just like Amtrak.
Yeah, exactly. We had to make a minor detour to some random place in Ohio.
It's because I ate.
For the people watching the podcast, it is now 1:13 for the people
out
east.
Oh my god! Too bad I don't have anything related to that to jump off of. I actually had something until just a little while ago, and I was cleaning links down here. So I was like, this has been sitting here for several podcasts, and we haven't covered it, so I'm just going to get rid of it. But the other thing, the UK had its own version of Silver Streak. They just kind of bumped a buffer slightly. They made it sound super dramatic, but in England everything is boring. So, there you go.
And small.
Yeah. I have an amusing thing to talk about with a South Dakota town, but I'll save that for sort of
next week.
Yeah, I'll save that for next week. As well, BNSF sort of attacked a crossing gate and mauled it slightly. Because I don't know, they do that these days. I don't know.
Extreme crossing gate.
I mean, Wyble, have you seen the BNSF trains near you get particularly predatory? Is it like their mating season or something?
I guess there's the unit that I think I talked about blowing a turbo years ago on the podcast is still in Castle Rock.
Like it hasn't been fixed?
Yeah, it's something that I didn't touch on it on the podcast. It's probably a month ago now. We were up on top of Castle Rock looking down at the track, and there's just an engine there sitting in the siding. And I realized, oh wait, that's been there for years.
That's been there a while, hasn't it?
That has not moved forever and ever and ever.
Oh boy.
So you'd think they'd at least drag it to the shop.
No, BNSF has way too much power that's just sitting, waiting to be used. They don't really care.
Alright,
Well, still, like, drag it, to, like, the storage tracks or something, not out in the middle of nowhere.
Alright, well, I'll take care of this here, then. And
Very, very briefly, really quick, if I may.
What?
I forgot to mention something when I was talking about the Utah earlier. Usually, because I mentioned how they run the BNSF contracted local trains. What they'll sometimes do, actually, and this actually kind of makes it seem a little less hopeless for them, is oftentimes because BNSF has power down in Provo, because they run a few trains in and out of there that they have to run because UP needs some competition. They will borrow power from the BNSF once and the UP once in a while, so it may not seem as hopeless, and they can just loan lease. Or loan lease?
Lend Lease Act.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that's a different thing.
Just thought I would put that in before the podcast is over.
Right.
Alright, well, again, hopefully things. Anyways, so I'm gonna go over very briefly. We haven't quite nailed down everything yet, but myself, Wybold, TJ, the former member of the podcast, I'm sure you all remember, Chris, the 113 fanatic, and Madison are taking a little trip together down to Pennsylvania for a week or so. And we've been planning this out for a little while, but we hadn't really set it in stone yet. Now we finally have it, starting not long after this comes out, as a matter of fact. We're going to be arriving down there on the 11th, and we're going to be in Philadelphia on the 12th. On the 14th, we're going to be riding the train at Strasbourg and visiting the museum across the street. 15th is about a bajillion different things which we need to nail down.
Yeah, we ought to talk about that tomorrow.
It keeps piling up, including like a photo charter or something, Steam into History, some other stuff that's running, blah blah blah. That's the 15th. The 16th we're going to Steamtown. And the 17th we're going all the way out to Horseshoe Curve and the EBT and paying them a visit and saying hello. Now, I don't anticipate anybody that's listening to this podcast to be able to run out there and say hello, but if you're in the area and you happen to see a freakishly
few foamers walking around with
a freakishly tall person, a couple of scrubs,
an Italian,
yes,
a mob member,
a dashing Italian, or
and
in stupid glasses,
and a girl.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What was that?
Nothing.
He said he called your glasses stupid.
I don't have my glasses anymore. I lost my glasses. Remember, you laughed at me. You were happy about that.
That's right. That's right. I wasn't happy about it. I was sarcastically happy about it because it's an ongoing joke.
I still have not found a suitable replacement, and frankly, I'm not happy about that. But that's it. That is the Terminus coming to a standard land near you.
Cool.
Coincidentally, that is my termination. So, why vote?
This.
Oh no.
Pedo engine.
What is this?
I'm typing. I need to type.
Oh.
Oh god. What is the...
Pedo engine.
How do I don't have a way to link this.
I don't know what maybe just show it then.
Okay. Whoops. Let me put this back over here. This is Wyvold's termination. I don't know what it's saying in the corner, but...
I have no idea.
Can you send it?
Did. Alright. Next is... Achilles.
Alright. Jellies. And he's dead. Okay.
Not Milky?
If you want to check out drone footage of the exhibit train and the Museum of the American Railroad,
did you guys already do my termination?
Yeah, we called your name twice.
Oh yeah, my microphone died for a second.
Oh, okay. Good job.
Yeah, I hate G&W.
Orange
Alright.
plague.
That's my termination. Is that the orange, and that the orange plague, despite whatever Milky will say, the orange plague is much, 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 much worse than the yellow plague.
Alright, and Jader with the last words.
The garbage, it lives.
Alright, well, we'll see you guys in 2 or 3 weeks or so. Maybe we'll do a little thing from Strasbourg or something. But
Trustburger.
We'll have our next official prod.
You guys
podcast.
need to record. You guys need to sing "Russian Bias Choo Choo" on the back of the train.
That's been done. But
do it again.
Perhaps.
No, what we need to do is like an improv bit or something.
We could manage that.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah. I want to after the podcast. Anyways, we'll see you guys in a few weeks. Bye-bye.
Bye.